All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Afternoon Experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you. I don't know. I'm with you. I'm with you. Straighten out my little shirt there. I hope everybody's having a good day. Let's get into it, because I'm late. I apologize. I'm late. Jerica Vaughn says first. Well, you are first today. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Terry Anderson in the house. Good afternoon. Terry Anderson representing downtown. Jerica also says, "Hola, mi familia." Lewis Talbert. Lewis representing Sharonville. Good afternoon. We got Vincent Jones in the house. What's good? Well, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And DeAndre Crosby. He also says first. He wasn't first, but he said he was first, so good afternoon. He's in the top 5. Thank you guys for, I guess, seeing that I was live first and saying hi first. I appreciate it. I really do. Erica representing Reading. Erica Hummins, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Andrea Bustle out there in Gulf Manor, good afternoon. Robert Willis, what's up? Good afternoon. J Rose 8425 also says first. Good afternoon. DeAndre Crosby. DeAndre was replying to, he already said something. Okay. What's up? And Jerica. I think what happened is something happened when I started it. It was going for a few seconds and then it shut off and then went back on. I don't know why it did that, but either way. Carolyn Smith, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. We got Tanika in the house. Good afternoon, Tanika, representing beautiful Orlando, Florida. Did I already say Lewis Talbert? Yeah, Lewis Talbert. Some of these will be double. Sean D. Nutter. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. David says, I may not be in the top 5, but I'm in the top 15. I believe it. Tanika says, did the show restart? I think it did. Something happened. It wasn't on y'all end. Something happened here with OBS software, and I don't know. And somehow little baby got a hold of a yo-yo. She does not know how to use a yo-yo, and so she's over there just making a lot of noise with the yo-yo. Let's see. Beauty in the dark. All right. Well, happy Friday. I hope you're also beautiful in the light. Good afternoon. My Osha, good afternoon. Says rocking the blazer. It's not a blazer. I don't like that term. I don't like the term blazer or sport coat. I don't like either of those. Sorry. So I reject both of them. But thank you for checking out the show. Did I interview for a new gig? No, I did not. Lamont Jones says, Grande, powerful, royal people. He's representing Westwood. Good afternoon. Andrea Bustle in the house out there in Gulf Manor. I think I already said Andrea from the first time that it started. And Sean says, good afternoon. Did you see the KKK in Evendale? I did. I'm going to talk about that. Logic Slayer. Good afternoon, Logic Slayer. E-Man, you're looking spiffy, and see you've cut your nappy bald head. Yeah, I cut it low, and but it's still nappy. But thank you for noticing. Ron Tucker, representing Lincoln. Oh no, he just says the Nazis in Lincoln Heights. Yeah. T. Mikey G, representing Avondale. Good afternoon. Brenda Early. Good afternoon, Brenda. Sierra Brooks. She's representing the hair salon. Just generic. David says, if you discuss financial literacy, you will lose the grifters. That's not true. But, that's fine. You can always call in, David, and discuss financial literacy. I'm always game. I really don't discuss financial literacy a lot because, what I'm saying? I'm working this stuff out like everybody else. I don't have any, level of expertise or anything on the matter. And I feel like, from most people, why would you listen to somebody who, don't really know nothing about the subject talking about it? I just do the minimum. You know what I'm saying? I work. I try to live beneath my means. I try to buy everything I can with cash. I'm not a big credit person, although I do have a couple credit cards, but I try to use them sparingly. And when I use them, I try to use them. It's an investment. So I'm buying something that's going to make me money. And so I don't mind paying a little bit on that. But I own a few stocks and a little bit of Bitcoin because, you never know. But other than that, I'm just, kind of keeping my head above water. For me, my bills is all paid. My house is paid off. My cars are paid off. And, just trying to make it. So I don't know that I'm the person to give people advice about financial literacy and have some deep conversation about it. But just so you know, I've heard people have conversations about it. The same people call that show. The same people call. It don't make them not call. Pamela Kinney, representing North Avondale, good afternoon. Bonita Gaines, out there in Roselawn, good afternoon. Thanks for checking out the show. Steban Speed in Westwood. Can you chill out a little bit with the yo-yo?
I can't.
Yeah, I need you to. Take it off.
For how many minutes?
Until I'm finished. Do some other stuff. Go get your books. You gotta read. Go get the books that you gotta read. Go ahead. Go get them.
I have to.
Go get them.
Oh, man.
Go get them. All right. Bonita Gaines representing Roselawn, good afternoon. Steban Speed representing Woodlawn, good afternoon. Are you wearing a blazer? I rejected it's a blazer. We're supposed to be keeping it classy today. I just put on this jacket. That's it. Let's see. Dee Dee Williams, representing Covedale, West Price Hill, and Dale High. You ain't in all of them. But I appreciate you, Dee Dee, for checking out the show. Dee Dee said, I represent Avondale and Walnut Hills and Evanston, and we keeping it real, What was it that Steve Reese used to do? I'm sorry, Steve Reese used to do a show on the bus, and he would always run down all the neighborhoods. And I think he used to say, we keeping it real, like Al Sharpton says. So, yeah, that was always entertaining to me. Don't you have two of them?
Yeah, I want this one. There's a day one.
Okay, well, you read that one, but then you got to read the other one anyway.
Yeah, but I'm not done. It goes all the way to,
Well, then you need to start reading. That book need to be done before I finish my show.
Oh, it goes all the way to day 25.
Well, then you better get to reading. You better get to reading. I'm not playing. You better get to reading. Yeah, she wasn't wrecking the place. She just had a yo-yo, and she's not very skilled with it yet. We'll work on it. Tria in the house. Good afternoon, Tria. Let's see. Beauty in the Dark says she's too cute. They talking about you.
Yay.
Yeah. Regina Denson Griffin representing Mason. Bruce Blake. He says, that is a sport coat, homie. I reject that. It's just a jacket. Broken Wing says, neo-Nazis got ran out of Lincoln Heights. I want to talk about that in a little bit. Two little pups going by on the screen. It's Friday. Y'all remember Crash Out Respectfully. Little baby tearing the basement up. Yeah, she was being a little loud. Is E-Man trying to impress his producer? It is not date night. Rachel Rousseau, good afternoon, representing Lincoln Heights. Anthony Prosser, I don't know if I saw Anthony earlier. Alethea Williams, one of the killer bees out here. Happy Friday, Alethea. David says, you are the king. You know money. Oh, what she doing? Plumbing work. I look rich. Get the cash back credit cards. Okay. Maya says, I never live beneath my means.
Fine, I'll get the other book.
I believe you. When you got so much means, you don't worry about that stuff. But those of us who have to manage our money, who don't make a whole lot of money and already have a whole lot of money, we have to live beneath our means just in case stuff come up like our car just break down and, we need a few $1,000s to get it fixed. We have to have money in the bank for that. So, let's see. Brent, representing Dallas, Texas. Good afternoon. Fame says, nice blazer. I rejected it's a blazer, but thank you. How is everyone? Thank you, Fame, for checking out the show. Anthony says, man, must be nice. 5 more payments to go on the homestead. Brent says, financial literacy theory is easy. It's the application that's problematic for a lot of us. All right. Mr. GQ in the house. It's just a jacket. It really is. It's just a jacket. If I took the jacket off, it'd just be me in a t-shirt like every other day. But I appreciate y'all. Let's see. It's sports code. It's not. The cussing Pastor Livingston. Look, again, I don't cuss. So if I do it, it's because it was absolutely necessary. Absolutely like life or death. And just because you don't understand how it was life or death don't mean it ain't. That's why I'm the king of talk. I understand all that stuff. Yeah, Avondale, we on. That's what he used to say. We on. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about Lincoln Heights. Daryl. Oh, I don't know what Big Daddy called the neighborhoods. I know he talked a lot about Lincoln Heights, Zone 15 or Exit 15 or whatever. Oh, let's see. Did I say hello to everybody? I think I've said hello to everyone.
You have not.
Jacqueline Carter, I hadn't seen you, I don't think. Brian Cherry, good afternoon. Pat Rogers, good afternoon. Jeannie Mulholland, good afternoon, and happy Friday to you as well. E-Man, quit acting like we shouldn't be shocked by your apparel. This is not your norm. It's just a jacket. Y'all, should I take the jacket off? Would that make y'all happier? Twin says, good afternoon now, your lawyer. I don't know what that means. Ronald Dixon, good afternoon. Try 2 G's to get your car fixed. That's me. Mine was actually a little more than that. I'm breaking it up and saying the entire estimate of, because when you take your car in, some of y'all don't even know. My car broke down. It was still drivable. It was making noises. So I took it to the shop. Lights came on the cluster. And eventually, I think the entire total to get everything that they found fixed, because, they look at whatever the immediate problem is, but they also go over the rest of the car. And so they give you this really high estimate. So, what I'm saying, you take it in because, your windshield washer fluid line, you need that fixed or whatever. And then they come back and they like, but did you know that you needed front brakes? And did you know that you're due for a flush in your transmission? And did you know that, your alignment is off? Did you also know that you've got a seal leaking? And so we're going to recommend that you replace all of the seals in the engine and blah, blah, blah. They lay it all out. And so for me to get everything that they put on the list fixed was, I think, $5,600, give or take some change. Now, to get the immediate things that I need to get it fixed and back on the road, get the lights off on the cluster and all of that kind of stuff, I think that was like $2,100. So that's fine. I told him to go ahead and do it. I got that. That part was not. The 5,000 would have been, would have hurt me just a little bit. If I said, in order to get your car running, you got to get all of this stuff fixed, I'd have probably just said, I'm probably just going to get a new car or something. But, to get the stuff fixed that need to be fixed, I give him $2,100. It was time to change the timing belt anyway. And since the pulley went, it's the little stuff they came up with. Now, the other stuff, some of it, I'll get done. Some of the other stuff, I'll do myself. It'll be next to nothing. So it won't end up costing me that much money. But you know how they do. That's how they do. I do a lot of stuff. I'm not one who, I try not to do stuff that I'm not capable of doing or that I don't know about. At my skill level is not change your timing belt level. I've watched a few videos, instructional videos and whatever on doing it. It's not something that I don't think that I can do, but it's outside of the scope of what I'm comfortable being able to do and do correctly. Because, I don't want to jack up my car completely. So I get what you're saying though. 2 G's. Dina Johnson, good afternoon. Representing Walnut Hills. She says I look great. She is an angel. She is an angel. Makes me want to cry. Good afternoon, Dina. Daryl Larkin representing Mount Airy. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Are you wearing a jacket so you can professionally, F that in? Yeah, this is my Martin Luther King cuss out the president jacket. And am I going to discuss Elon and the low-key cool? Got a few things I want to discuss. So let me hurry up and get finished with this stuff. Yo, Underwood, good afternoon. Ronald Dixon, good afternoon. It's not peach. I don't know why it may come off as peach. Oh, you're saying put the peach jacket on. I don't have a peach jacket. And if I did, it would be like 3/4 length. Ronald Dixon says, but I only have one car. Oh, yeah, you might have a predicament. Is cluster and dashboard the same thing? Some people might use them interchangeable. In my mind, the dashboard is the whole thing that goes all the way across the car. The instrument cluster is, where, at least on my car, which is slightly older, everything ain't digital, but the instrument cluster is that area right in front of you when you're driving. It's got the speedometer, it's got the tachometer, it's got, your fuel gauge and all that kind of stuff. To me, that's your instrument cluster. Alethea?
Hello and good evening, Mr. Livingston. How are you?
Good evening. I am fantastic. How are you?
Well, you look good. I tried to compliment you on your beanie when you had your locks. Then you have the wig under there.
I just had shaggy hair. That was it.
I thought you started your lock transition. My bad. I apologize. But just your jacket, I like your crop suit jacket. It looks nice. It show your belly button. You've been doing good. I see you done switched up. It looks nice.
Well, I appreciate that. I really didn't switch up, but I appreciate it.
Oh, cool. I just called to tease you today because you didn't take my call the other day when you had the beanie on. I was like, oh, okay.
When did I not take your call? I've taken your call anytime you called me.
Well, that's not true. I called.
Was I on the phone?
Okay.
Was I on the phone with somebody when you called?
I think you may have been arguing with Twin.
Okay.
That may have been accurate.
So I reject the idea that I didn't take your call. I would say I was on a call and then you didn't call back.
Well, that could be true too.
Yeah.
But I do like that crop jacket. You should put on some bell bottoms with that. I want you to have a good weekend, but you going out with Miss Livingston?
We don't have anything planned, no.
Oh, I thought you was dressed up early for Valentine's Day.
I don't
You
know
should've
that
saved
I don't
that.
I don't know that I'm dressed up. It's just a jacket.
You look different. You look different than what I normally see you in, like your sweatshirt and stuff.
Okay.
And the beanie that I saw earlier. So this is pretty nice. 2025 new you.
Okay.
Well, have a good evening. I ain't gonna interrupt your service, your little service, your church service you got going on. Okay.
All right, Alethea. Oh,
Okay.
hold on.
Thank you.
Before you go, I have to ask your opinion on something.
Okay.
All right. Did you hear about what in Louisiana they've indicted a doctor from New York
I'm done.
for you are not done. They indicted a doctor from New York for prescribing abortion pills for a minor in Louisiana. Did you hear that story?
Oh no, no, I did not.
Okay. Well, yeah, they
I did not hear that.
they have one of the most restrictive abortion laws in the country, and it's a felony for a doctor. There's some caveats in there, but it's a felony for a doctor to prescribe abortion pills. And they did this kind of telehealth thing. The pregnant person is a minor, but their parent is aware. So they did a telehealth thing. The doctor in New York then prescribed and mailed these abortion pills to the girl in Louisiana. So in Louisiana, somehow she took them. She had some sort of medical emergency, and through the course of the medical emergency, they found out that this doctor had prescribed these abortion pills, and they indicted the girl's mama, the doctor,
Oh.
I think the person at the doctor's office who packaged up the pills, and I think they indicted the little girl.
And she's underage, you said.
Yes.
Wow. Well, isn't that what birth control is? Like, it's not an abortion pill, but it's to keep you from having a baby.
Well, yeah, but the abortion
So
pill,
do they give birth control pills in Louisiana?
I think they do, but I think there's a distinction between, because I know they put on the list, and I don't remember what the name of these drugs are, but they put on a list of, there's two specific drugs that they use for abortion pills, and they're
Is
on
it like
some,
Plan B?
if you want to call it that. I'm not, again, I don't know, I don't remember the medical name for it,
Oh,
but
okay,
she's
okay.
already pregnant, so it's not like, hey, I don't want to get pregnant. It's, I'm pregnant and I don't want to have this baby. Abortion pill.
Gotcha.
So what do you think
Ooh,
about
that's
that?
horrible. Yeah, that's horrible because I'm pretty sure if she's underage, she don't know what she's getting herself into, medically. So when she do want to have a child, that her body is able to do that because those pills, they can really mess you up.
Oh. Well, what's your feeling on the states banning abortion?
I just feel like it should be left up to the woman or
Okay.
young woman if they're able to say yes to sexual activity. If a baby is produced from that, I think she should be able to say whether she wants to carry the baby or discard of the pregnancy. I think that's still up to the individual.
Okay, so you're not for states like in Louisiana indicting doctors for prescribing abortion pills.
So that's different. Like if it's already the law, you should not break the law because of a young woman pregnant. You get what I mean? Like you have a duty to take care of your patients.
Mhm.
Everything comes with a risk or a side effect. So I don't agree with the doctor doing that if it was already law.
Interesting. Okay.
What do you think? What do you think?
Well, let me follow this out just a little bit more. I think
Okay.
either the governor or the attorney general in New York, I forget which one they were quoting, said they're under no circumstances will they extradite this doctor or anyone else associated with this. And I think they've either proposed or passed, I'm not sure, I don't remember which, either proposed or passed a law banning such a practice, not, banning, making it illegal or being able to indict a doctor for prescribing abortion pills. So New York is taking a strong stand, and they're saying, okay, y'all indicted him. We don't care about that. That's not our law. That's y'all law, and we are not extraditing him to, or her, to your state.
Oh, but he did something horrible. Like, you don't want to just give somebody an abortion pill and take your hands off.
I'm confused. What do you mean?
So, an abortion pill.
So hold
it's
on.
the
Let's
same
do
thing
this. Let's
I'm
do,
sorry.
because stuff like this helps me understand. And if it's bothersome to you, please forgive me. So
Okay.
Alethea, you get pregnant. All right.
Yes.
You don't want to have the baby.
Okay.
Or actually, let's say your daughter, you have an underage daughter, and your daughter gets pregnant. Y'all don't want to have the baby. I'm a doctor in a different state. And you and your daughter have a telehealth call or whatever with me. And y'all tell me, we don't want this baby. Abortion is illegal here, but we want a safe way to terminate this pregnancy. Me, as Dr. Livingston, I presume, I say, okay, well, here are these pills. We're going to send you these pills. When you get them, give us a call. We'll instruct you on exactly what to do to take these pills. And, as with almost anything medically, if anything goes wrong, call 911 and, seek medical assistance. You think I'm in the wrong as the doctor because you and your daughter called me seeking my assistance because the law, you say I should not have done that. That's your position?
That's my position.
Huh.
I only say that because once given an abortion pill, complications can happen because it allows the cervix to open. And when the cervix opens, they can start bacteria and other things happening. And it should be up under a doctor's care because I just feel like it's the same way as having a miscarriage. Now, I don't know if you know, but now they label it as abortion. Like in your medical records. So if you ask me if I had an abortion before, I will have to answer you yes, because that's the medical term when the baby is very early on. So things happen to that woman that's like pain and a lot of bleeding. Complications can happen, and I think that doctor should have kept his hands on her. Now, as you said, it was a telecall. Like, that young lady, as being a young woman, should be in his visual or up under someone in his care to manage her bleeding, cramping, just in case if something happened.
All right.
Like if they would have went there, I would agree with it. But because he just sent pills in the mail, like that's kind of
Okay.
or to the pharmacy.
So
I don't agree with that.
So in essence, what you're kind of saying is if you live in a state where abortion is not legal, you just can't get an abortion.
Right. You just have to go to where it is. If you want this doctor, say if I have cancer, a lot of people go to Texas, but they stay up under that care of that doctor. They normally move there part-time to stay up under the care of the doctor when they're receiving services, medication from a doctor. So I think that that's what should have happened in this particular situation, because a lot of things can happen during births, and this abortion technically is a birth because sometimes all of the, I'm trying to say it in the correct term, all of the matter don't come out all the time, where women have to go back, get DNCs, or I don't know if you know what a DNC is, but it's a scraping of the lining of the uterus to make sure that legs, arms, bones, they have to take account for this stuff. So I think that doctor was very negligent by not having her come to him and manage her care and then sending her back.
Okay. Interesting take. All right. I just wanted your take.
Okay.
I'm not of course, I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other. I just wanted to know how you
I
felt
get
about
it.
it.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting story, so I'll keep listening just to hear the rest of the details and everything.
All right. Hey, I appreciate your
Okay,
call.
thanks, Livingston. All right, bye bye.
All right. Bye. Yeah. I saw that story, and I was like, interesting. I'll maybe pull it up and read it. Maybe I missed a detail or two in the story that I read. They didn't give really anybody's age, and they did not go into what specific complications the young girl was dealing with. So I don't know that. Ron D,
What up, man?
how you doing, sir?
Hey, first of all, man, we ain't beefing, but we got to talk.
All right.
All right.
Well, hold on. Before you start to talk, because I'm a man of honor. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
I ain't. We got to talk face to face.
Okay, that's fine. But let me say this, because I'm a man of honor.
No, don't do it. 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 It's already squashed.
No,
Don't do it.
but
I know
no.
what you gonna do.
It's for information's sake, bro.
No.
It is for information's sake. As a man of honor,
Okay.
I was wrong. I had, I lacked some information that you had, and you shared that information. And, I like to let people know when I like to give people information so people aren't misinformed or uninformed. And you were talking about a subcommittee that Jasmine Crockett is on that's to oversee that Doge office or whatever. And I said, no, she's just on the government oversight committee. And you sent me the information that they have created a new subcommittee that she is also on with a few other people. So you had more information or better information than I had. And as much as people like to say, he'll never admit when he's wrong, I don't have no problem. I like to admit when I'm wrong because it's so rare. And, I like to let people know actual factual information. So.
All right. Okay. So now, and I'm not judging anybody, because it is what it is. If you have an abortion, you have your reasons for it, and as long as abortion is legal, it's legal. I'm anti-abortion, and Alethea said something, and everything she said was right, but she said something, man, and it just messed me up. She said that they have to be under doctor care because they have to go ahead and scrape the uterus for the bones and make sure that they have accountability for the bones.
Well, hold on. Let me stop there.
But,
No, let me stop you there. I think
okay.
My understanding, and this is my understanding, is there's up to a certain point, they won't give you, like, if you so much pregnant, you don't qualify for these pills. They don't.
Yeah,
This,
but no.
These pills are for very early on in the pregnancy.
And that's the problem.
All right.
That's the reason. You didn't say why she went to the emergency room. Now, she went to the emergency room like that chick was, they was promoting that, They was promoting that during Kamala's run for president. This woman died on the floor, died in the emergency room. Now, she died because, just like Alethea said, and just like you saying right now, that you can't have them do those abortion pills on a late stage pregnancy. You can't do that.
Well, but Ron, just for the record, based on what I read, I don't think it was a late stage pregnancy. But if you have some more information about that particular case where you can say it was a late stage abortion, she went to the emergency room because
I don't have that information. But if it was an early stage pregnancy, she would have probably passed it and it just been on. It's just been over with. But now, like I said, what I was saying was, Alethea said that they have to go in and scrape the uterus for the bones and everything. And like I said, I'm anti-abortion. And as long as abortion is legal, you can have an abortion. You could do what you feel. You would do what you feel, even if abortion is, even if they outlaw it. But it's a trip that people always call it a fetus. People always call it a fetus when if it's 4 months, you still got to scrape them bones out.
Well, let me do this.
It's still got a heartbeat.
Ron.
Wait, just
no. Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay, go ahead.
But let me do this. Let me read this story so that we all working off of the same information. This is out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. An arrest warrant has been issued for a New York doctor indicted on Friday by a Louisiana grand jury for allegedly prescribing abortion pills online to a pregnant minor in the Deep South state, which has one of the strictest near total abortion bans in the country. Grand jurors at the district court for the parish of West Baton Rouge unanimously issued an indictment against Dr. Margaret Carpenter, her company Nightingale Medical PC, and the minor's mother. All three were charged with criminal abortion by means of abortion-inducing drugs, which is a felony. In addition to Carpenter, an arrest warrant was issued for the mother, who has not been publicly identified to protect the identity of the minor. District Attorney Tony Clayton told the Associated Press that the mother turned herself in to police on Friday. The case appears to be the first instance of criminal charges against a doctor accused of sending abortion pills to another state, at least since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022 and opened the door for states to have strict anti-abortion laws. This is from Clayton, says, we expect Dr. Carpenter to come to Louisiana and answer to these charges, and if 12 people, a jury thinks she's innocent, let it go. The New York governor, Kathy Hochul, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, said in a video posted on social media, I will never, under any circumstances, turn this doctor over to the state of Louisiana under any extradition request, signaling a potential legal battle between the states. Last year, the Port Allen, Louisiana woman requested abortion medication online from Carpenter for her daughter, whose age has not been specified. Clayton said the request was made through a questionnaire only and no consultation with the girl. Okay, so I was a little wrong on that. A cocktail of pills was mailed to the woman who directed her daughter to take the pills, Clayton said. After taking the drug, the girl experienced a medical emergency while alone, called 911, and was transported to the hospital where she was treated. While responding to the emergency, a police officer learned about the pills and under further investigation found that a doctor in New York State had supplied the drugs and turned over their findings to Clayton's office. It's unclear how far along the girl was in her pregnancy. The girl's mother has since been arrested, but the other person we believe is just as culpable here is the person who sat in an office, wrapped the pills in a box, put a stamp on that box, and mailed it to the state of Louisiana for a child to take, Clayton said. Carpenter was sued in December by the Texas Attorney General under similar allegations of sending pills to that state. That case did not involve criminal charges. Carpenter did not immediately return a message from the Associated Press. The indictment comes just months after Louisiana became the first state with a law reclassifying both mifepristone and misoprostol, I'm sure I jacked those up, as controlled dangerous substances. The drugs are still allowed, but medical personnel must take extra steps to access them. Under the legislation, if someone knowingly possesses either medication without a valid prescription, they could be fined up to $5,000 and sent up to jail for 1 to 5 years. The law carves out protections for pregnant women who obtain the drug without a prescription to take on their own. So,
okay, now I go to the doctor all the time, man. Okay. You know, I had those surgeries on those on my right and left shoulder. Now, the doctor that did he did both of them. But when he did my right shoulder, I hadn't seen him with the exception of this last time, and he performed the surgery, and I had to call him to get that follow up. I had to call him to get a follow up. These doctors don't be about shit. That doctor knew, or he anticipated that, or she, I can't remember who it was, but the doctor anticipated that he would just send that shit down there and he wouldn't have to worry about it. And that's a fucked up situation because now everybody involved in that shit. And Kathy Hochul, is she going to say, oh, I ain't going to send him down there? And those the motherfuckers that, that should be indicted first. That's just that bullshit. But I was just calling to say that Alethea was right about what she said and the fact that, and I ain't never, heard it described that way. But, like I said, if they have to scrape the limbs out of there and they have a heartbeat, they have brain function and shit, that's a baby. That's not a fucking fetus. That's not a fucking fetus.
All right.
Okay, bye.
I appreciate your call. All right. That was Ron. I wanted Alethea's take on it. A lot of women don't call the show, on a regular basis. And so I'm always very interested in what women think about these issues. Unlike some of y'all, I don't have a problem listening to what men think too, because men have a stake in abortion and abortion rights and all of that kind of stuff as well. So I think Ron's opinion is just as valid as Alethea's opinion. CK?
Hey, how you doing, Livingston? A great show.
Thanks, sir.
Man, I was listening to you said the abortion pills is popping. They dropping it. They dropping the abortion pills.
I'm sorry, say that one more.
They stopping it or they dropping it, the abortion pills?
Well, based on my understanding of what I read, Louisiana has kind of made it, classified those pills as a dangerous drug. So my guess is they really don't want people to use them.
Yeah, of course. We need it. And you said they stopped abortion in all 50 states. No more abortion.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, that's what we need. I mean, are we on the verge of that, or how are we looking on the abortion laws right now with Trump and office?
I'm not sure. The states are making their own laws.
Oh, so he's not just coming in here with the just making people not have abortion?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what the red said the red was gonna do, stop abortion.
Well, I mean, again, they're kind of, the thing that they're saying is that they're going to leave it up to the states to make those decisions, even though I'm not 100% convinced that they won't try to do a national abortion ban. But I hadn't heard that they tried it yet.
And how do you feel about stopping? Do you support the abortion law being stopped?
I am pro-choice and pro-life.
Right. Okay. Pro-choice, pro-life. So you both?
Yes.
Go both ways.
Well, I don't like it when you say it like that, but
yeah,
yes.
It don't sound right. You're right.
Yeah. Let me explain, because somebody may have never heard me explain it, and it's actually quite simple.
Yes, sir.
If I believe children should be born. I don't like the idea of killing unborn children. I believe it's killing unborn children. So I don't like that. I believe children should be born. But that's my belief. I don't think that I should have a right to impose my belief on anyone else. So while I'm pro-life and I believe life should be given a chance, I'm also pro-choice because everybody doesn't believe what I believe.
Excellent. The way you explained it, it was good. Now I can't even think of the word, but I feel that I'm for pro-life, sir. I want the life because you don't want to kill these unborn babies because that's devastating. Imagine if your mama killed you. Look how much you would have lost. You'd have lost everything. You wouldn't even have no grandbaby.
That's
You wouldn't even
true.
have a computer screen in front of you. So that's what I'm saying. You losing too much with the abortion. You see what I'm saying? That you don't want your mama to abort you because then you have nothing, no memories, no nothing. You hear me? And life is precious, Livingston. Matter of fact, look at your last name, Livingston. So y'all was concentrating on living. So a Livingston can't have an abortion, and it's part of your name.
Okay. But here, let me
You
agree
hear me?
with you. If I wasn't born, there's a really good chance that I would not have had children, and thus I would not have a grandchild. I do agree with you there.
That's what I'm saying. That's just one abortion, sir. But look, when your mama was having an abortion, they'd be like, oh yeah, we don't need no more kids. They not thinking of all they killed the whole Back to the Future generation. They done got rid of your wife, your kids, everything. You don't even get to meet your wife, your second wife. Are you serious? You miss out on school, temporary jobs, real jobs, radio. You don't want your mama to abort you. That's what I'm trying to say. So
I agree.
So most of us, we really are pro-life. We just act like we the death of babies. But
All
if
right.
you really ask, you see what I'm saying? So you just want to. I know you don't want your wife to die giving birth. I understand that, sir. I understand, and that's a tough choice. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But sometimes we got to make those choices.
Well, I think in that choice, I would almost without hesitation choose my wife. I can't think of a scenario where I would say, yeah, now let her die. I want the baby.
Oh yeah, you gonna sacrifice your firstborn for your first wife? That's what we talking. Are you serious?
I view it as the unborn child as potential and the wife as actually here. And if having that child is going to kill her, then let's not have that child because I don't want to kill my wife. We can have another baby.
No,
Hopefully.
but not this baby. Not this baby.
Right,
Remember,
not
is
this baby.
Emanuel Livingston.
But yeah, we can have hopefully we can have another one.
And that's you. So your mama then killed you. Now everything gone. I don't. But you said without hesitation.
Yes, no
And
hesitation.
I'm going the other way. I'm going the other way with that. My wife, I'm choosing a baby over. Come on now. That's a brand new baby. You can't kill nothing that young. You see what I'm saying? If you kill something and you a man, you got to always go. You got to, like you said, we naturally against killing babies because we men.
Mm-hmm.
But the women, they got to kill it because it's their choice. It's their body. So we always got to tell our wife, nah, baby, don't kill the baby. You know what I'm saying? Because we are the nurse. We protect the babies. The women make sure no man has ever got an abortion. So when a woman comes at you and says she's pregnant and she wants an abortion, you have to try to talk her out of it, Livingston.
Look. Again, I am pro-life, but being pro-life, I am also pro my wife being alive. So I for me, and look, again, that's just me. Everybody don't agree with me. I don't expect everybody to have my same point of view on that. But given that scenario, I choose my wife. I mean, unless, you know what I'm saying? Now, maybe that first wife give me the baby. But the good wife, no, I want her to live. I want her to live.
Okay. You have a preference. You say you prefer your second wife over your first wife any day.
That's not even a question. So yeah, the second wife, live. The first wife.
Man, I like what you're saying, man.
Flip a coin. I don't,
Hey, but look, all I'm saying is to convince you that we can't let your wife look at your little baby now. She all jumping over on the computers, over on your head, feet in your face, and all that. That's who you getting. You can't get rid of her. So I don't think it would be easy to be talking about, yeah, I'm a choose. No, you love your grandbaby too. You can't just get rid of her like that. That's gonna be a tough choice. Now that you've seen her grow up, and she's only a young little girl right now. But even that little time will make you be like, nah, I can't, baby. You can't kill my baby.
Okay.
See?
All right.
See? Yeah. Hey,
Well,
much
well,
love,
we
man.
know where you stand. I think we know where I stand.
Yeah,
And
great analysis. Man.
yeah.
Great analysis.
Hey,
And we proud of the family, man. Keep making them good grades, and to the young people in school in your family,
Yeah.
tell them to keep making good grades, brother. I like that. I like.
All right.
that,
Did you hear
brother.
that, little baby?
But-
He said, keep making good grades. That means when you go to
That's right.
school, you make good grades, do good, get A's or whatever, make good grades.
Yeah. You
All
gotta
right.
be successful, man. Thank you, sir.
All right, CK. Hey, you tell me to tell the little baby to make good grades. That's something positive. I'll tell her that every time. All right, so that's that story. Also, I did, and I don't know how. I'm driving to pick up the little baby, and I'm coming down 75, and I get to Glendale, Milford, and then just past there where GE is, and I see it, but I'm like, that can't be what I think it is. I'm not seeing that. That's not what I think it is. And no, it is exactly what I think it is. There are these people. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up a picture. Let me see. Because I forgot my phone at home today when I went to work. Otherwise, I would have taken the picture. That's not the best picture of it. But hold on, let's see. No, stop it. Hold on. More. Two. Man, why do they make this so difficult? Let me save it. Sorry, y'all. I got a picture of them. There's a couple pictures out there if y'all hadn't seen it. But yeah, the bottom line is, yes, there were Nazis with swastikas and the whole nine. And I'm like, wait a minute. Do they have do I see swastikas up there? Like, what in the world am I seeing? Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up. No. Go here. I'm sorry, y'all. I hadn't intended on doing this. Y'all know how it go. Or at least y'all should know how it go by now. It takes me a while to do this stuff. Here. Open. All right. Okay. Move that there. I'll put it right there. That'll work. Yeah. The Nazis. The Nazis. Out there on the overpass. And I'm like, what? What in the world is going on? Like, I hadn't seen anything about them, showing up. I'm gonna take them off the screen because don't give them no whole lot of play. I'm like, I hadn't expected to see that, and it did throw me for a second. Black Lion says they said Zone 15 showed up and burned their flag, but it was a little jarring. It was just a little jarring driving down the highway, and they had their banners up on the little railing, and it was two swastikas on each side, and then they had a big banner in the middle that said "America for Whites" or "For the White Man" or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was like "America for Whites" or something like that. And I was like, oh. And the first thing two things popped into my mind quickly. Number one was Elon Musk's boys is here. Elon Musk's boys is here. And of course, that made me think about the fact that when we talked about Elon Musk doing that Sig Heil, the Nazi thing, how I kind of expected a lot of Republicans to deny it. No, he didn't do that. I expected that. I didn't expect the ADL to say that wasn't what it was, and I didn't expect a lot of black people to say, hey, he ain't no Nazi, what you talking about? So those two things I didn't expect. I'm sure these guys are, this is probably just one of the things that they do. They travel around trying to cause confusion. But, yeah, it was a little jarring. Second thing that I thought back to the conversation that I had yesterday about what people can do. Because everybody is looking for somebody else. Not everybody, but a lot of people are looking for someone else to be the one to do whatever the thing is, to stand up for this and where's our leaders and where's that. You don't have to be Sharpton to go and stand against the Nazis when they come to your city. Now, like a few people, and I've read those messages, they say that, the people out there took care of it. But where was the other people who always looking for other people to do stuff? Where are those people? See, that's what I'm saying. You want to build a name so that you can go up to Washington and cuss out the president? That was something you could have just did. You could have just showed up there. Well, I had to work. You can't use I had to work as an excuse if you want to be this big anti this and you want to be the leader and you want to do all of that kind of stuff. Well, I had to work. Elliot says, we can't complain now. We don't work together, period. I don't understand your comment. No, people can complain, but if that's all you do is complain, and you're complaining about the people doing the work. So I'm okay with complaining about the problem. I see this problem, they do us wrong. I'm all right with that. But if you see somebody working in attempt to fix that problem and you complaining because the work that they doing, you don't think that they doing it right or enough, that I have a problem with. Especially if you're doing nothing. So you can complain, of course you can complain. But to complain about the people that's doing the work when you're not, that's problematic to me. And those are the people, I guess, that I'm complaining about. But no, it was a little jarring. I hope nobody was hurt, like exceptionally hurt during the entire thing. I hope nobody was hurt. I saw somebody say that Ross Freeman was there. Okay. Daryl says, that's why y'all should have called out Goofy Ambra for defending Elon Musk, saying it was his autism. Every time I think about that, I get a little heated. Well, I did call her out. And then, of course, people called in to tell me that she wasn't actually defending, but I'm like, I know what I heard. But yeah, I did hear it, and I did call it out. Because that's my role. One of my roles is, speaking on stuff. And kind of to double back a little bit yesterday. Oh, hold on, before I do this, somebody said Ross Freeman was there. I saw that comment. They say Ross Freeman was there. And good. He saw something that he didn't agree with. And, you know, if he was there, and I'm not saying he was, I'm saying just because somebody said he was, don't mean that he was. It don't mean that he wasn't. So I have to preface stuff with if this is true. If he was there, good for him. He saw something that he didn't agree with and that he felt comfortable standing against. What more can you ask? He did something. Somebody somewhere will probably complain, he didn't do enough. Why didn't they do this? I don't know what they did. Why didn't they shoot him? Why didn't they? I'm not encouraging anybody to do that. Why didn't they do that? Well, you know, they did whatever it was that they did. If you wanted something else to happen, then you should have been there doing it. That's what I'm saying. Don't be complaining about people who are actually doing and what they're doing. If you want to see something different, you go and do what you want to do. You read both of them books. All of the book.
Yes.
The whole thing.
Yes. Oh.
Okay. I'll take your word for it, but we gonna find out when I get finished. So you better know them books.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna ask you questions. All
What
right.
happens if I don't finish them?
Oh, so you didn't finish them.
Yeah, I said what happens.
Well, if you finish them, you don't have to worry about what happens if you don't, because you did.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah, no, but that's, if you're out there doing the work, man, I applaud you. Even if I wouldn't have did it that way. If I'd have did it a little differently, or if I would have, I applaud you because you did something. You stood for something. You took action where you saw something that you didn't believe in. And then what more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? So I respect that 100%. I respect that 100%. What else? It was something else that I wanted to discuss. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Let me pull this up. Also,
I need to know what happens if I didn't finish it.
no, you don't need to know what happens if you didn't finish. No, you don't. You finished it. You finished it.
I do need to
That's
know.
all that matters. You really only need to know what happens if you did. If you lie, you need to know what's gonna happen if you lie. And if you lying, it's gonna be problems. Don't worry about what's gonna happen. Just know it's gonna be problems.
I'm not done. What happens now?
Shahara says, did y'all talk about the Nazis on the bridge in Evendale by GE? We literally just finished talking about it, like maybe 20 seconds ago. We just wrapped up, to my degree, that conversation. But if you wanted to discuss it, feel free. Give us a call, 513-717-KING, 513-717-5464. If you want to, have a little more conversation about that. I don't know if Nazism is growing.
I'm not done.
If these people are, you're not done with the book.
No.
You better get over there and read them books then.
What happens if I don't finish it? What happens if I don't finish it?
Just finish it.
How? What will happen?
All right. If you don't finish it, something gonna happen and it's not gonna be pleasant. Twin.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
I don't like these
Hello?
books.
Yeah, I had to take this earpiece thing
Can I
off.
only read one whole book?
What's the subject today? Topic or whatever.
We talked a little bit about abortion, talked a little bit about the Nazis up there. Did you show up and protest the Nazis?
And I got off, I stayed right there, Battle Bridge or whatever.
So did you go and...
And I got off. Man, I ain't got time for that. I got off and had to go to work. But I'm going to protest for what? I better keep looking at...
I didn't hang up. He hung up. I didn't hang up. He hung up.
I think it was you.
No, it wasn't.
Can I only read one whole book?
No, you got to read both books. And you know you got to read both books.
The other one is scary.
Well, go be scared. Twin.
Yeah, I know you hung up on me, but it was cool, though.
I did not hang up on you, and you know I didn't.
No, I didn't go, man. I don't too much get involved in stuff like that.
Twin.
I used to, though, but...
Wait.
But, nah,
Wait.
I did before.
Hold on.
I did before.
Let me ask a question. Honestly.
What's up, man?
This is an honest question.
Go ahead.
How do you complain yesterday so vehemently about people who are actually doing stuff, but then when something comes up in your own backyard, you won't do anything?
Emmanuel.
Yes.
When Trump got elected last time, they did the same thing. They was on their bridge. And
Okay.
the sheriff's right there, supposed to serve and protect. So why should I care if you supposed to serve and protect the community and you right there let it go off? Come on, man.
What?
Let it make sense.
No, I'm trying to make it make sense. Using that logic, why should anybody protest anything that's going on that hurts black people? Because somebody's supposed to make sure that it don't happen. So why should they worry about it? That's not good logic to use to say I see something that I think is wrong and a
So
problem.
what I'm supposed to do? Get my face digged in mulch and all that? What I'm gonna do? Protest? What difference gonna make? They still gonna come about, so y'all kill me with this, man. I'm not with all that crazy stuff. It is what it is. If you got the police right there and they're encouraging, what makes you think they gonna care about me saying something? Now what? I'm mad and all that get into it. I'm in jail.
Well, first,
He did it for a cause.
no,
He
you
did
don't.
it for- no.
Hold on, you don't have to get into it to the point that you're in jail. But
No, because it's gonna piss me off the way I see it.
right,
I
but
know it's gonna piss Twin
Wait,
off,
so-
so that's why I stay away from that.
hold on. So you comfortable with Al Sharpton going to jail and then criticizing the hell out of him,
I don't-
but you don't want to go
he-
to jail?
What did he go to jail for?
He done went to
telling
jail
on
for
somebody?
he done went to jail for a number of things.
Well,
He
I
went
don't
to
know. I
he
don't-
went to jail a number of times protesting a number of things for black people
Yeah.
and for others. But you criticize him. But he is willing to step in and do what he has to do, and he know going in, I'm gonna probably go to jail. But he goes and he takes action anyway. And you
There you go.
criticize him
Okay,
for
why
that.
you ain't stopped? Why you ain't stopped then?
I'm not criticizing
Why
the
why
people
did-
who
no,
are
why you
doing
didn't
stuff.
Stop then?
I'm
If you
not
got a
the
problem,
one-
Why you ain't stopped?
I
See, it
am
don't go both ways,
I am
man.
not the one who's
No.
actually criticizing people
No.
for the
No.
work that they're doing.
Man,
You're
I've
the
seen
one
this
who
before.
you're
I've
the
seen
one who
this.
criticized people for the work that they're doing, saying they're not doing enough or they're not
Man,
doing the
whatever.
right thing.
Here we go. How was your day, man?
My day was all right. I like the way you try to blow that off, but I think it's a very good point. You can't. I'm gonna say you can't. You can
I
criticize
understand what you
anybody
come on,
you want
man.
to,
I
but
understand what you. I just don't. I blow past things that Twin can't. I can do something, but hey, I'm not about to go risk I got too much to lose. Just to go out there and protest for a couple of minutes, and the way I'm not my mindset, I might go to jail, and I know I go to jail.
And
So
all
just stay away from-
and my last word on that is just remember that the next time you feel the desire to criticize anybody else who's actually doing something.
Man, I don't care what you're thinking and opinion about me or whatever. It is what it is. Don't pump fake the community and everything. That's all I say.
Then that's you pump faking the community too.
No.
You
People
didn't do
like
anything. You didn't do anything.
You damn right I ain't gonna do something.
All
I
right
got too
then.
much to lose.
So you pump
I
faking the
got to-
community.
Man, whatever. I'm not with all that craziness.
Ain't that what pump faking the community is?
No. Because if I probably would have saw you out there, getting the brakes beat off, or I probably would have jumped in. Like, no, y'all ain't about to do it. I probably would have said something, jumped in. But me out there and get mulched and get thrown over there, Vidoc over there with 75, no, I ain't about to do that. I got too much to lose. No, I'm cool with that.
All right. Just remember that the next time you want to criticize somebody.
I'm
That's
not
all I'm saying.
remembering nothing.
Everybody got too much to lose.
Man, whatever. If you say so, Claire. You been all right. You look like a lawyer today. I told you got 50 personality. A lawyer, a gangster. Where you going today, man?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just chilling.
Nah, I had to look. I didn't know that was you. I thought you were clone or something, man.
It might
I
be.
had to look.
The other me might be doing something else right now.
Dave Stinger, you talking about?
No, Dave Stinger is not me.
Yeah, okay. Whenever you gonna invite Dave Stinger over?
When I think about it, Dave Stinger's never been to my house for dinner or anything. I might invite him over. He gotta come around here.
I ain't got to.
Have a good
I ain't
day.
got too much to say, man. I'm
All
all
right. See you later, little girl. See you later, little baby. Okay. But, all right. So you had that. What do you think about the abortion story?
Pro-choice, pro-life, or whatever. And man, I look at it like this. Man, that's a hard conversation. Because, I don't believe in abortion. But, I mean, if it's if, like, say your relative or something touch you, get you pregnant, yeah, I think I'll kill a baby, whatever, sell a blood or whatever the case may be. But just abortion.
Wait, did you say kill the baby and sell the blood?
That's what they used to say, man, back in the day. Kill a baby, sell a blood. So, I don't know it, man. I don't believe it. I just don't. But if like your uncle or somebody, just raped you or something like that, then yeah, man, I accept that having a boy. But no, I don't really too much believe it. No, I really don't.
Did you hear the story that we're talking about? The doctor in New York sent the abortion pills to somebody in Louisiana. They've been indicted, and they want them to come to Louisiana to face charges. Do you agree that they should be doing that?
Oh, he sent the pill out of New York to New Orleans?
Yes.
That's trafficking, ain't it? Drug trafficking, because you can't have no abortion in Ohio. You got to go like Michigan somewhere, right? Illinois.
I'm not sure if that's true, but
it's true. I don't know if they lifted it, but I know a person that was pregnant had to go up top out of town because they don't do it here. I don't believe it unless they brought it back. But I know you can't do it here no more.
okay.
So I don't know, but other than that, no.
All right. You got anything else on your mind? Hold on. Let me say this before we go any further. I heard you apologize for what you said or what you wrote, because you didn't actually say it on the show, but for what you wrote on the thing. I appreciate you apologizing.
No, I'm a man of my word, and people don't regardless and stuff. I got beside myself, and that ain't twin, man. That really ain't me. And I probably was, a little frustrated or whatever the comments or whatever was said. And, I got out my body and everything. I apologize. People like, oh, they used to see. What else you want me to do? Write 100 letters on no hands or something? I apologize 100 times? No, you only get one time. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I apologize. I'm sorry for, what happened yesterday. But to blow back on it and keep saying it and bringing it up in the chat, that ain't cool, man. I said, I'm sorry. What you want me to do? What else?
Well,
buy you lunch, shoot you a kite or something? What else?
Well, to be fair, just because you apologize to somebody doesn't mean that they have to forget what you did.
I mean, you ain't gonna never forget. You can forgive if you accept my apology, but that's one thing you ain't never gonna forget.
Right. So people will still bring it up.
I know.
For
okay, I
multiple
understand.
reasons.
Part of life.
Yeah.
You learn and you grow. That's all.
And
but
what more can you ask?
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, as a man, accountability I can take right now, but if you don't accept it, it is what it is. We move on. I learned from, my mistake or what happened took place, and, I could stand on it. But all that back and forth, and I'm not with that, man. Okay. Especially the guys on there. I'm not with they acting like bras now. Come on, man. You this, no, man. And all the threats and smart, no, I'm not. Come on, man. Better than that, man.
I don't know if they acting like bras.
Man, I see that stuff in the chat in Lincoln Ware. Man, they acting like
I don't know
bras
what
and all
happened
that.
in Lincoln Ware's chat.
Man.
I do know I had an opportunity to listen to Lincoln's show for a little bit, and I heard you actually come on and apologize. And I thought, okay, cool. But
and then I got the 411, and I mean, drive he ain't sincere, he ain't this, he ain't that. Come on, man.
Well, people got a right to feel how they feel. But I'm gonna say I don't know that it's acting like a broad to want to defend to want to defend black women is not a thing that a broad would do. That's acting like a man, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold on. You don't think it's a manly thing to defend women?
No, I don't. No, I don't think it is.
You think it's womanly to defend women?
No.
Right.
I mean, it's cool to stand up for the women.
Right.
So it's cool, man. Yeah. What are you talking about?
We had a little misunderstanding there. So
no, come on, man. I understand you.
Okay.
But you think I'm slow or slow?
I don't think you're slow. Our words was mixed up. But okay. Look, you apologized to the people that you offended. It's up to them to accept your apology or not. I'm glad you did. Because that's the type of person that I've always thought that you were. When I'm wrong, I don't have a problem saying I'm wrong and apologizing. Yeah. So, I'm glad
I was going to do it on your show. But, I had thought about it this morning. I'm like, man, this ain't you, twin. What the hell? Your mama wouldn't accept this or, anything. Because that's not me. That's not me. I promise that's not me. Okay. I wouldn't do that. That's not really me. So, yeah, man, I'm cool, though.
Okay.
I'm cool. You watching the football game? I forgot you now. I can't ask you that.
You can ask. The answer is no. I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I will not be watching it.
Oh, all right.
And I won't even be really interested in the halftime show because I'm not into hip hop. And the guy who's doing it, what's his name?
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. I don't know a Kendrick Lamar song. You could play every song he had, and I couldn't tell you who it was. Cause I'm not into hip hop like that. So it probably wouldn't be interesting to me.
They might bring out Lil Wayne and all that since they have in New Orleans. Yeah. You like Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne got one or two songs that I like, but not really.
Oh, okay. All right, man. You have a good weekend, man.
You do the same, twin.
I'm gonna try.
All right. That was twin. He apologized. You don't have to accept his apology. I heard somebody say put a name on it, all of that kind of stuff. You don't have to accept it. If it wasn't an apology up to your standards, don't accept it. You got a right to say, I don't believe you. I tell people, even on this show, I've told people, I'll take your word for it, but I don't believe you. I don't have a problem saying, I don't believe it's sincere. I don't believe it's genuine or whatever. So, yeah, you don't have to accept it. Black Lion say, what kind of music do you listen to? Really, lately, nothing. I listen to old music now. Every once in a while, I'll hear a song where I'll be like, okay, that's okay. I can get with that. But No, I'm an R&B guy. I like R&B. I like people actually singing. That's what I like. Chords and changes and, you know, give me a nice verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, maybe throw a change or something in there, modulate here or there. I like a nice structured song. Singing. Ooh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I like singing. That's what I like. I'm not, you know, I get it. Rap, hip hop, it's an art form. I don't take that away from them, but it's just not an art form that moves me necessarily. Again, like I said, sometimes I'll hear something, maybe some of the earlier rap I was down with. You know, I was listening to it and I was like, okay, I can get with that. There's some artists out there who, you know, back when I was younger, you know, stuff like I was listening to, and this, I don't even know why, for whatever reason, Roxanne popped up in my mind. And I went back and listened to UTFO, Roxanne, and Roxanne Shante, and Roxanne's Revenge, and the parents of Roxanne, and all of that stuff. And I got a nice little laugh. And I was like, you know, this was an interesting little era in hip hop. And it was fun and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. They battled and whatnot in the music, and nobody got killed, to my knowledge. So I was like, okay, you can't beat that. So, yeah. I've listened to different phases of hip hop and enjoyed something here or there. Yeah, it was Roxanne. Then it was Roxanne's Revenge. That was Roxanne Shante. Then it was the real Roxanne. And there was a few other ones in there. And then the parents of Roxanne. And, you know, then eventually somebody came out. I don't remember the name of the song, but like, Please Stop the Roxanne songs. So, yeah. Yeah. That's music that I'm listening to. I'm not really listening to hip hop. I don't know. I see Raven Monday in here, and she asked me a question, I think. But no, she's replying to him. I thought I saw her ask me a question, and it went by, and I don't know what the question was. Sorry. And excuse me. I don't know what the question was. There was another story. And then I'm a stop with, is that my chair creaking? It's got a little creak in it. This is a new chair too. I put it together. LL Cool J. I liked early LL Cool J. I did like early LL Cool J. Rock the Bells. You know what I'm saying? He had those hits earlier. Radio. I'm Bad. You know. Those first two projects, I believe. I think after that, I wasn't too much down with LL. I liked some, you know, some Run DMC, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Don't hate on my putting stuff together skills. See, if I sit back on it, it don't creak. I can move wherever. Is it the way I'm sitting on it up here? Now we won't do it again. You have to be sitting a certain way to create that. Yeah, there you go. It's the way I'm sitting on it. But if I just sit normal, then it'll be all right. I asked if you was going to court after the show. You are so funny. No, I'm not going to court after the show. I saw this story in the AP. You know that the ex-prosecutor For those of y'all who don't remember, Ahmaud Arbery, he was out jogging or whatever, and them two, Travis and Greg McMichael and William Rhodey Bryant, shot that boy and killed him. Well, right after that happened, I think it was Greg, the father, called a prosecutor, Jackie Johnson. And he basically said to her, like, look, basically we just killed, I don't know if he said it, but we just killed an N, and I need your help. And it's alleged that she told the reason that they weren't arrested on the scene and charged immediately is because this lady, Jackie Johnson, told police, don't arrest them. And as they investigated, she put up roadblocks to the investigation. And that's why it took so long for any of this stuff to kind of come out and for them to be charged and then eventually convicted. Well, she's been on trial for, it's been about a week. This trial's been going on for about a week. This is from yesterday. Brunswick, Georgia. Russ Bynum gets the byline. A judge Wednesday ended the trial of former Georgia prosecutor accused of using her influence to protect the men who chased and killed Ahmaud Arbery by throwing out the felony indictment used to charge her, abruptly halting the week-long case before it went to jury. Yeah, former district attorney Jackie Johnson has long denied influencing police who initially decided against making arrests when Arbery was fatally shot 5 years ago in coastal Glenn County, where Johnson then served as a top state prosecutor. The judge's ruling closed the book on criminal charges that hung over Johnson for more than 3 years. Johnson faced charges of violating her oath of office, a felony, and a misdemeanor count of obstructing police when her trial opened last week. It ended in her favor Wednesday morning without a verdict from the jury that had heard 5 days of testimony from witnesses, including Johnson. Senior Judge John R. Turner dismissed the oath violation charge after Johnson's attorneys argued the 2021 indictment was fatally flawed by technical errors and ultimately failed to accuse her of any crimes. The judge says, frankly, this is a decision I didn't want to make. But he said that the defense's challenge to the indictment needs to be granted. Turner on Monday ordered Johnson acquitted of the misdemeanor obstruction charge. So on Monday, not a jury, he acquitted her of the obstruction charge. And then on Wednesday, he dismissed the other charge. They went through the whole trial, and before it goes to jury, he says, all right, trial over. We just dismissing that charge. It's over. So I know a lot of people didn't really follow that case. Because, once you get the guilty verdict of those three, a lot of people don't, follow up. Because, you don't get those headlines. But, yeah, there was an actual trial going on. And on Wednesday, the judge ended it. And that's it. Charges dismissed. Case over. Just so, and I just saw that, and I'm like, a lot of people didn't even know that she was actually on trial. They didn't know. But yeah, she was. Dina Johnson says the former was a former employee of the prosecutor's office. They worked together, yes. And there's no doubt in my mind, when she called people and she said, hey, I know this guy. Don't arrest him. I can't say she used this language, but come on, y'all know this was the mindset. This N was running through that neighborhood, and they did what they had to do. Just let it go. Let it go. And they weren't charged initially. But now the whole case is over. She's scot-free now. She's scot-free. The prosecutor says the evidence was there. We all know Jackie Johnson played a part in the cover-up of the death of Ahmaud. Yeah, more than 2 months after they killed Ahmaud Arbery. More than 2 months passed before an arrest happened. And I believe the only reason that arrest actually happened is because the video of them killing that young man was leaked. And it was leaked by one of them to prove that they wasn't guilty. So sometimes, people do stupid stuff and get themselves caught up. In this case, I'm glad that they were stupid. Now, the police had that video the whole time. Remember, William Rhodey Bryant showed that to the police on scene. They watched it in his truck that day while the body was still laying there. Police watched it. But then the video gets released to the public. And then that's when, we got to arrest somebody. I just don't want people to forget this stuff still happens. This stuff still happens. And people protect their own. Especially in the law enforcement community. And don't think when I say law enforcement community, I'm just talking about police. Police, prosecutors, defense attorneys, judges, they are all a part of that law enforcement community, and they protect each other. They protect each other. They don't speak out. Well, you can't speak out. You can't speak out because they got rules against that. They find ways to speak out about everything else. These are lawyers. They know that they can say general stuff about whatever the subject is. No, they can't talk about it. Remember, when Tracy Hunter was going through everything, well, they not allowed to talk about it. That's why you don't hear the judges saying nothing. They not allowed to talk about it. They was allowed to talk about it. They couldn't specifically speak about that case. But they could have come to the radio station and said, sometimes prosecutors want to see certain people out of office. And so they have a way of creating situations to make that happen. You can't say, well, they talking about Hunter. Any lawyer, any judge, I didn't say nothing about Hunter. I didn't say nothing about Dieters. I just made a general statement about something that happens sometimes. They know how to get away with that stuff. They don't do it because they don't want to do it, not because they can't do it. Mayo says, just imagine if the white boys wasn't stupid. I don't like calling them white boys, even though they was white boys. Ahmaud's parents probably still would be wondering what happened to their son. Yo Underwood says, Emanuel, Lisa Baker is one of our... Lisa Baker might be one of yours. She's not one of mine. I found her to be a very mean-spirited lady. And in my opinion, not trustworthy. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Ron Tucker say, damn, I'll just be telling the truth. Am I not allowed to tell the truth? Jerica say, what Lisa Baker do to you? Lisa Baker used to try to slide in little slick comments. And I let it go for a long time. She used to always be telling Lincoln, because you remember they cut one of Lincoln's out. Lincoln was 10-1. And then when they started my show ended up being 12-3. So Lincoln lost an hour. And she used to come on almost every day, talking about, we sure do miss you for that extra hour. We sure wish you was in for that extra hour. I'm like, okay, you taking shots, whatever, it is what it is, and let it go. But then she wouldn't let it go. And then so one day I was like, I sure do miss Officer Ward as the Crime Stopper lady. And then she was all bent out of shape. I can't believe he said that. He's so mean-spirited. Why would he say that? Why would he do that? That's just so this. Oh, but it was all right for you to say that. That's for months. You was cool taking shots for months. I say one thing one time and now you all bent out of shape. I'll be remembering that stuff, y'all. I remember stuff. Keep telling you, I let people come for me, until I get tired of it. And I don't even necessarily tell people like, you might want to stop. I just let people say what they gonna say. And then once I get tired of it, and it's typically the way I do, I typically just say about you what you've been saying about me. And if it's okay for you to say it about me, it should be okay for me to say it about you, right? If it ain't wrong, if it ain't mean-spirited, it should be okay for me to say it about you, right? But you get all bent out of shape. Well, what makes you get bent out of shape? Because you know the way you meant it. You was being mean-spirited. And how dare he be mean-spirited to me? Yeah, I don't. Blade.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. I like your sports jacket. You look dapper.
Okay, thank you. What's on
What's
your
wrong
mind?
with you, buddy?
Nothing.
Hey, man. I like the topics you have. That jacket must be special because you different. You sound different.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, I mean with that background and stuff, it actually look like you on TV, man.
Oh.
Hey, man. Society has gave women some invisible powers like they really overdo. As dudes would be more precise with their seed, women wouldn't have no power because some women now think they can have babies by themselves. Without the seed, they can't have a baby. They talking about their body. Yeah, it's your body, but it's our seed.
I agree. Yes.
So the men have the power. You got to be, precise who you put your seed in.
I agree.
And then that woman will really have power over you because once she got that baby, she can just get rid of you. As we always talking about the white man, but we depend on the white man so much. Hey man, let me ask you something.
All right.
All kidding aside, it seems like Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati's cool, but it seems like y'all got that psychological thing. Anybody is not raised among y'all got a problem with them. Since Twin don't think like y'all, and he, didn't vote like y'all going real hard on Twin. I mean, not just you, other radio shows, and like the whole city. Because when you look at the chat, everybody, and what's tripped out about it, the people, the ones going hard on Twin, they don't even know him. They be on the chat talking about Twin like a dog. It's like they act like they in sheets. If they saw him walking down the street, they would lynch him up. But you had a white boy call today and said, trying to be funny, said my ninja, and didn't nobody say nothing about that. So
Okay.
why what's up with the black on black crime? But when the white boy calls the show all the damn time, talking all that slick white stuff, you don't got nobody in the chat saying nothing to the white boy.
Well,
As a matter of fact, two white boys.
Well, let me answer that this way. First, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know that to be true. I'm not in the chat, so I can't.
If I said it, I'm not gonna lie about it.
Well, You could be mistaken. But
No.
let me. If I understand a lot of times why people are critical of Twin, and it's not just because he don't think like them. But when you think, when if my perception of you, Blade, is that you are out to harm me, okay? And then somebody helps you, they're out to harm me in my mind. Now, clearly, Donald Trump is out to harm America as a whole and black people specifically. And so, yes, if you support that and you reject logic and reason, like, because a lot of times the issue that I personally have with Twin is that his arguments lack any basis in logic or reasoning. They're just really emotional arguments. And a lot of times it's emotional based on whoever pulled his emotional strings. And when presented with actual information that he knows is factual information, he does the mental gymnastics sometimes, or he tries to do the mental gymnastics to get around it instead of actually dealing with the logic. So it's not a matter of, oh, he don't think like me, so I'm going to attack him. It's a matter of he knows, he understands that there's danger out here, and he's helping the people who want to hurt us. And people rightfully get offended by that.
Well, how can you persuade him to say his thinking is wrong when y'all constantly beating him up, psychologically talking about him like a dog? You know, this, like I said, just because he didn't vote like y'all. In order to persuade him, is that how you're going to do it? Black on black crime?
Well, first, I don't think it's black on black crime.
Yeah, it is.
Secondly,
he's black and y'all black.
But it's not a crime. Secondly,
psychologically
I don't attack him.
Trying to break him down.
No, I don't attack him. I just try to have conversation with him. And I genuinely believe one of these days he's gonna be in the right mindset and the right, mental and emotional state, and he's gonna listen and be able to say, you're right. So that's how I do it.
What I saw today, I doubt it. You got pushing him more into a corner. Like, why would I be with these people? I mean, if he voted for another person, I mean, if y'all that petty down there like that, how can he trust y'all? When
but how can we trust? How can we trust someone who would vote for someone who clearly wants to see our demise?
Well, he had a choice. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's on there calling him a dumbass and you a slave, and I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. And these people probably don't even know this dude.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
But y'all want to convince him that he was wrong. I just don't understand, man.
I think he knows he was wrong.
Well, if he know he was wrong, do you think y'all gonna convince him by talking about him like a dog?
Sometimes, yeah, you have to shame people into changing. Yes.
But y'all shame him, but y'all won't shame nobody else.
I think people shame people a lot. What do you mean, won't shame nobody else?
Well, when the white boy said what he said, I ain't seen nobody in the chat talking about him.
Well, I don't know I don't know who the white boy is, and I don't know what the white boy said, and I don't know what was in the chat. But here's what I will say. I will say sometimes, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but I also don't necessarily disagree with it too. But sometimes if I expect, what I'm saying, if you my enemy, I expect you to act like my enemy. It's not going to shock me. I'm not going to be bent out of shape when my enemy acts like my enemy. But when somebody who's supposed to be on my side, my friend, in the trenches with me, going through the same struggle with me, act like my enemy, I might have more venom for them. And the venom comes, from my emotion, from the fact that I'm shocked. because we supposed to be on the same side. I expect my enemies to treat me like an enemy. I don't expect my friends, my colleagues, my partners to treat me like an enemy.
So somebody to vote different than y'all, like you, is your enemy?
No, he's supposed to be my colleague, but you're treating me like my enemy if you're giving aid and comfort to the enemy. And that's what that is. In my opinion, Donald Trump is the enemy of American democracy. Donald Trump is the enemy of people who need help. Donald Trump is the enemy of black people. And by voting for him, you aided him in doing that. And by defending his actions, you give him comfort. In the United States, in the law, as people are against people who give aid and comfort to the enemy. It's a literal crime in the United States to give aid and comfort to the enemy. So why should black people be any different and accept when black people give aid and comfort to the enemy? Black people have to stand together, and it's in some cases, if you're not for us, you're against us, and we have to treat you like you're against us.
Okay, I understand. So y'all can't get to Donald, so y'all gonna go get his voters.
No. If that's what you got out of that, then that's on you. But
I'm just saying, this because maybe at the time he thought he was right, but
no.
Convince him that he was wrong.
He had way too much information. Whether he decided to reject that information or not, he had way too much information to think that he was right. And he said on a number of occasions that he knew that Donald Trump wasn't for what's right, but he was going to vote for him anyway because he was tired of the Democrats and he was tired of black people talking. So if the reason you gave aid and comfort to the enemy is because you tired of other people doing whatever, then, to some degree, you get what you get.
Well, I mean, since y'all are so much smarter and whatever, man, maybe y'all need to persuade him a different way to bring him back into the so-called the fold. But what y'all doing now, man, y'all just pushing people farther away from y'all, man. Talking to him like a dog, and I mean, it's just ridiculous what I see in the chat, man. It's just, it's like I said, it's like one day you just might get together and try to lynch him.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
But y'all got skinheads and Nazis down there, and y'all taking pictures of them.
I'm not even sure what that meant.
Okay. Hey, man, I want you to look at this story down here, Delphi. I'm not going to talk about it, but it was a so-called separatist group where they go around sacrificing people. They killed these two little white girls and shed their blood, and it was a group that done it, but they pinned it on one white man, and they, as like you said, they used the law. White people ain't stupid, man. It's just the fact the law's on their side, they can get away with it. I mean, that's what your enemy Trump is doing, using the law. While we boycotting, they using laws. But they killed this little girl, these two little girls down here, cut their bodies up and shed their blood, but they only blame it on one person that they ain't have nothing to do with it. We really got to be careful, man, because they all over the Midwest. Yeah, I mean, you saw the Nazis down there. So, but I wouldn't worry about the Nazis. I would worry about the ones that are kidnapping little girls and cutting them up and shedding their blood.
Those might be Nazis.
I don't know. They call them something else. They
I don't know.
I forgot what they call them. It's some kind of they do these rituals. They worship some kind of demon god, whatever. But what I'm saying, you got some your way too. Some they've been kidnapping black women too. Girl, she know about it. I forgot her name. She used to live down there. She moved down to Texas. She know what I'm talking about, where they kidnap little girls and little boys, and they cut them up, and they something shed their blood, talking about giving their blood, feeding it to they so-called God. But just be careful down there.
All right.
And I wish y'all stop doing that black on black crime, man. Just because the person, didn't vote like y'all.
All right.
Have a good one.
You too. All right. That was what it was. But yeah, back to the officer lady, who y'all saying is petty. I don't know that it's petty. I don't know that what I did was petty. I think it was actually quite strategic. And here's the other thing that it did. It stopped all of that sly talking. It stopped all that sly talking. One comment, and she stopped. So, yeah, it's not being petty. Sometimes you have to deal with people in the way that you have to deal with people. And that was how I chose to deal with that. And somebody asked if I was a something. My birthday is in September. So I don't know all of the signs. I'm a Virgo Libra. I'm a Virgo Libra. September 23rd. It's on the cusp. So whatever that is what it is. But I don't think any of that has anything to do with my actions. None of that has to do with my actions. And I always tell people, like, for real, this is real simple to me. And somebody just said it. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. It's really that simple. And why would you do it? Like, why? Like, what? I didn't understand. I still don't understand then. What's the reason for it? Why just be mean or cruel or attempt to, diminish somebody? Just for fun? So you can giggle? You know what I'm saying? So you can giggle with somebody that you think is important? Because that's the way I perceived it. You just want to be all on somebody's D. And the way to be on their D is to attempt to diminish me. Don't use me as the step stool to ride somebody's D. If you want to ride somebody's D, just jump on it. I'm not your step stool to ride somebody's D. So that's my feelings on that officer. And she said other things. Well, I'm just like, I don't trust that this is a person. I believe that this is a typical police officer who's going to cover for other police officers, who's going to make excuses for police bad behavior. She said a number of things that makes me feel that way about her. And that's what people don't understand. Like, look, I'm going to tell y'all this. I know officers, and I've known some bad officers. I've known some bad officers who were good people. And that don't make sense. But outside of the kind of confines of all that power and authority, because I'm telling y'all, there is something about us as people. There is something about us as people. If you give me power and authority over people, like real power and authority, not just some people, will get it just, oh, you a supervisor, and they go bonkers. Ooh, I'm the supervisor. Like, I'm the God up in here. Ooh, I got power. I can tell you what to do, But when you take that power to the level of, you can take a life, you can humiliate, demean, demoralize, brutalize people. Like, you can do whatever you want to do out on those streets to people. You can affect people's lives. Like, for real, affect their lives. Something about us as humans, it can do something to you. So once you take all of that stuff off and you go out into the world, you're a good person. You look out for your fellow man. You might be an honest person, moral and ethical. But once you put on all the trappings of power, something happens. And it's us. It's not us, the people, but us, this blue line. It's us against them. They are our enemy. I know the laws say this, but I'm going to do this anyway, because what's going to happen? I'm going to get in trouble. My supervisor, one of my boys is going to investigate me and say that I didn't do nothing wrong. And even if I did do something wrong, they're going to say he did something wrong, but it was kind of minor, so we just going to retrain him. When you know that you can just do whatever and get away with it, that's when stuff like that happens. There was a case, I'm gonna have to pull it up, but there was a case in New York where they have on video corrections officers beating and killing a man. They have the video. I think it was like 13 or 14 corrections officers beat and killed a man on video. What makes you think it's okay to do that? You know, none of them have been arrested. The video is out. None of them have been arrested. That's why they do it, because they know there's a really good chance I can get away with this. There's a really good chance I can get away with this. They don't care. And that officer strikes me as one of those people. So if you know her personally, she might be a great person personally. But my guess, just based on some things that I done heard her say, she ain't turning no officers in, you know what I'm saying, for violating nobody's rights. She ain't turning nobody in for beating nobody's ass. She ain't snitching. You know what I'm saying? You know, she ain't snitching on nobody. So that's my take on that officer. I don't even know how we got into that. Alonzo Clark say, who was the cop E-Man talking about? Oh, what is her name? The Crime Stopper lady on the Lincoln Ware show. What's her name? I can't remember her name. Somebody had put it in there. Shahara says, I do know her and can tell you wholeheartedly I disagree. You have the wrong impression of her, unfortunately. Have you seen her in the streets dealing with the public when she's upset? Because again, just because you know somebody personally and they're a good person personally, when they put on all the trappings of power, have you seen that? How many officers she done turned in for wrongdoing? I don't think I have the wrong impression of her. Who did you tell to suck you? I didn't tell nobody to do that. What are you talking about? Baker. Thank y'all. Nakia says, I thought she was a snitch. Who did she snitch on? Black Lion said, that's what I asked her. How many of those racist cops she turned in? They don't. No, I couldn't remember her name. I had 17th degree COVID, and stuff just don't come to me like that. Nike says she worked for Crime Stoppers. She will arrest you. She will arrest you, but I don't know that she gonna arrest nobody else. No fellow officer. But that's just my view on her, based on stuff that I've heard. Her say, not heard from nobody else. Just stuff that I've heard her say leads me to believe that. And then, the own personal thing about her taking all the little shots that she was taking. I don't forget stuff like that either. I don't. Well, she's about to retire, so we won't have to worry about her much longer. Okay. Elite, you say, I remember you telling someone to suck your... Who did I tell that to? I don't recall telling nobody that. I did not see the videos you sent me. What videos did you send me? How did you send them? How did you send... You want me to see these videos? How did you... Hold on, let me go to... I finally had to download Messenger, y'all. So I got Messenger. Let me see. These videos have to be like the most important videos in the history of video. I'm looking at my messages. I don't see no videos from you. How did you send me these videos? Tell me how you sent them, and I'll go and look at them right now. I'll go look at them right now. I won't put them on the air unless they're airworthy, but I will look at them right now. But how did you send them to me? David says, wait, you just now download Messenger? Yeah, I didn't really trust it. I still kind of don't. But yeah, I downloaded it. I downloaded it when I was doing the shirts in October. So when I say I just downloaded it, in October, I did it. You said, when did you send me? I'm looking at Messenger. You say you sent it in Messenger. I'm looking in Messenger. When did you send these videos? I'm looking at Messenger right now. Hold on, let me go to spam. Because that's the only thing I can imagine. Spam. I don't even see you in spam. You sent them Wednesday. I would show you Messenger on my phone, but y'all know I'm not going to do that. Unread, unanswered. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong Messenger. All right, now let me see. You sent them Wednesday at 8:30. YouTube. Nazia's cousin and aunt show detailed documents in which Nazia reported Jarvis Betts. Okay, I'm sure that's a little much to watch right now. So I will watch them. But I'm just now seeing them. So apparently because you know how it is when you are on maybe y'all don't. Like, attached to my personal page is another page that I'm an administrator of, and then another page that I'm an administrator of, which is another reason why I didn't want Messenger on my phone. So it was on one of the pages that I'm an administrator on. So I'll have to go through and look and see how many messages I done missed, because when I look at Messenger, I'll be like, I ain't getting no messages. So, and I see that I apparently have gotten a whole lot of messages that I haven't seen. Hold on. Somebody asked me another question. Alethea says, I've been a fan ever since Potty Mouth. I don't know what you're talking about. I do not remember telling nobody. I don't imagine that the people on here, the people watching right now, if I told somebody to suck my D, they would be like, Emanuel, you out of line, and I would never live that down. Talking about Dominique, didn't E-Man tell one of his listeners? So now you're calling in the other Killer B. Okay. And I see somebody saying, hey, Freddie Red. I don't see Freddie Red here. But if he is, then okay. Freddie Red was not a fan of mine. I actually liked Freddie Red. I learned a lot from Freddie Red, but Freddie Red was not a fan of mine. Not at all. Not at all. And I never really understood why, but I just know that he wasn't. And I think I tried a little bit to win him over, but I'm not that person. So I'm going to try to win you over just a little bit. And then if I can't win you over, F it. You know what I'm saying? I am who I am. Like, you know, when I say try to win him over, I didn't like buying flowers or nothing like that. But, you know, I was like nice to him, and, you know, I told him how much I valued what he brought to the table and all that kind of stuff. Let him know, you know what I'm saying? I'm not your enemy. I'm not your enemy. So, you know, I did my best to, you know, sometimes you just, people feel whatever, and I get it, because there are people that I've met that I'm like, I don't know what it is about him, but it's something about him I just don't like. And so I've experienced that myself, but sometimes those people, you know what I'm saying, you take time and you have a conversation with them, and then you're like, okay, whatever it was that I thought it was about him, I don't feel that way no more. He all right. And so that I tried to do that, but he didn't like me. He just didn't like me. And at some point you just have to say, okay, I mean, I am who I am. You don't like who I am, and that's all right. You don't have to like me. And that was that. But I always appreciated Freddie Red. I thought he brought a whole lot to the table when he was at the radio station. Like I said, I learned a whole lot just watching and listening to Freddie Red. Like, I learned a whole lot, for real, you know, from him about radio and, you know, how to kind of structure, because especially when I was doing the music thing, which, you know, wasn't really my thing, you know, watching him and listening to him and hearing how he structured his show and the different segments that he did and all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, I watched him and I was like, this dude is good. And I learned a lot from him. So, yeah. And I told him that, because I'm, you know, that's who I am. If I don't have a problem, as they say, giving somebody their flowers. I hate that expression. I hate that expression. I'm not giving you no flowers, but I'll tell you I appreciate you. So I don't have a problem acknowledging people's, you know, greatness or strengths or whatever. I don't have a problem doing that at all, because I appreciate that about people. And I think it's okay for people to know. It's not a sign of weakness to me. It's okay for people to know, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you bring to the table. I appreciate your skill set. I appreciate your knowledge base. And, you know, you just let people know that they're valuable. I believe in that. I believe in that. So, Shahara says, sometimes you can be unlikable. I didn't really care for you for a long while either. You just kind of grew on me. You're good now. But that could have been the case with him too. Okay, why didn't you like me? I know why you didn't like me, but I want to hear you say it. Why didn't you like me? Oh. Did he tell you how to get ladies? He did not tell me how to get ladies. What do you be out here doing to folks? Why don't they like you? I told y'all a long time ago. I told y'all a long time ago why people don't, or my take on why people don't like me. Well, I don't know if I actually told y'all a long time ago. But yeah, I really do believe people don't like me because I'm not what they expect me to be. And people like to put you in a box. And people like for you to be what they expect you to be. People like for you to act the way they expect you to act. So, people have perceptions. And if you're not, here's one thing people used to always say this to me when they met me. Listening to me on the radio. People used to say, they had a description in their head. I thought you was this big, tall, burly, dark-skinned, rough-looking brother. And I used to be like, why? Why would you think that? I don't know, just something about the way you talked on the air, like you was some big, tough, big, tall, big, rough. I'm like, no. So I truly do believe people hear that I'm confident in who I am, and it don't fit in their mind with how I look. You short. You're not supposed to be that confident. You ain't rich. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no power. You ain't got all of these, whatever it is they've built up in their head of what a confident person is supposed to be. They don't see that when they look at me. So it offends them. I think people look at their weaknesses like, I'm not tall, and so I have a thing about not being tall. He not tall, but he confident. Like he tall or something. And so how dare he be that confident? How dare he actually think he right when he's having discussions? How dare he be, because at the time I was young, how dare he be that young having conversations where he disagree with older people like that? How dare he? You know what I'm saying? And so people get offended that I'm as confident as I am. And my ocean says, I don't think that's it. I do. Look, I'm telling you, I've had conversations with people, and I've heard other people who didn't, were taller or bigger or whatever, more conventionally attractive, who was like, they could say the same thing I said in the same way, and people just accept it, like, okay, yeah. But I say it, who you think you are? I'm just the dude saying stuff. That's who I think I am. I'm me. People say that to me. Who you think you are? If y'all knew how many times I heard that. If I had $1 for every time I heard that, I have a lot of dollars. I don't know how many. Who you think you are? And I talk like this to everybody. Like, I'm not trying to be nothing more. But who you think you are? And then some big tall dude to come in and be like, nah, he cool. I agree with him. Well, Now let me think about it. Oh, but when I said it, who you think you are? When he said it, oh, let me think about it. It's okay for him to have that confidence, but it ain't okay for me to have that confidence. No, I'm pointing up because he was tall. T. Mikey G says, it's not your confidence. It's because you're a contrarian. I'm not a contrarian. I'm a thinker. I'm not a contrarian. I'm a thinker. I don't like absolutes. And I challenge absolutes. Not just because I don't like them, but because more times than not, there are no absolutes. Like do y'all remember the conversation about if you don't get that new driver's license, you're not gonna be able to fly? Y'all remember that conversation? And I'm like, well, that's not true. And some of y'all was saying, you just saying that, you just want to be difficult. You just this, you just that. We heard it on the news. They said on the news that if you don't have that driver's license, you won't be able to fly. And I'm like, but I'm telling you that that's not true. You can still fly even if you don't get that new driver. No, you can't. You think you know everything. You can't. Okay, so you won't be able to use your passport. Well, that's different. See, we wasn't talking about the passport. Just because you wasn't thinking where I was thinking, you came up with an absolute. And I told you that absolute is not true. I'm not being contrarian. I'm trying to expand your mind so you stop thinking in these small boxes. Oh, here's a problem. Well, you can't do nothing. No, yes, you can. Open it up. I want to fly, but I don't have a new driver's license. Oh, but I got a passport. That's not me being contrarian. That's me telling you that what you were told wasn't true. Because there are other options. But people perceive it that way. But had it come from a different source, instead of people saying, you don't know what you're talking about. See, the news said it. They would have said, okay, what do you mean? What other way can we fly? And then I would have said, your passport. And they'd have said, oh, okay, I didn't think about that. But because I said it, with the confidence that I said it with, I'm being a contrarian. No, I'm telling you to think a little more. Think a little wider. Just because they said it don't make it true. You contrarian. No. It's not the right package for it to come from. But that's my take on it. And I'm not going to change. I am who I am. I can't help it. I be trying to not think. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to not think. Like, just see something, just accept it. Don't say nothing. Just let other people accept it. Man, shut up. Just let people think that. Just let them think it. How do it hurt you to let them think it? But it's a voice inside of me that be like, no, they have to know that there's another way. And you shouldn't always have to be the one to say it. They should already be trained to think by now. Tanika says, oh, so it's everybody else, not you. All right. So, Tanika, disprove me. Disprove me. Let's deal with that conversation. I don't know if you remember that conversation about if you don't get this new driver's license, you won't be able to fly. I said it. People said I was being contrarian. People said I didn't know what I was talking about. People said, who do you think you are? You think you know everything. You did. Was that me? Because I wasn't just taking what they said on the news that day. Was that me? Or was that everybody else who was challenging me? There were people probably that day who decided, I don't like this guy. Because he's saying this with such confidence, like he knows something that we don't know. He's stuck up. He think he better than everybody else. He think he know more than everybody else. But then when you say it, they like, okay, you're right. You're right. I hadn't thought about that. My bad. My bad. I do. I have people all the time tell me I'm arrogant. And people don't understand. I am so far from arrogant. I'm so far from arrogant. Janice says, I will say someone could say the same thing you say, but because they say it differently, it will be accepted. No, I don't know that that's necessarily true. I think because they are different, they can say it the same way and it'll be accepted. Because I'm not going to be running around here, you know, I'm not sure if that's true. Now, forgive me for speaking up. I apologize for challenging the conventional thinking, and I'm sorry if it forces you to think a little outside of the box, but is it a possibility that maybe what you heard on the news might not be the full story? And I apologize if this is roughly any further. I'm not doing all of that. Sorry, not doing all of that. I'm just going to tell you, like, that's not necessarily true. There are other options. No, it ain't. Yes, it is. There's other options. And I didn't even call nobody, like, dumb or nothing like that. Like, your dumb ass think that that's dumb. I didn't do all of that. All I said was, that's not true. You could still fly without that. You could still fly. No, you don't know what you're talking about. They said it on the news. People was aggressive. I'm like, but it's not, I'm telling you, it's not true. You could still fly. Given, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You. But that is what this is all my perception. That's my perception of the way that I think that people want or expect me to talk to people. I don't agree with you. Well, I'm not trying to ruffle your feathers, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this comes out wrong, because I don't want to. Like, they want me to be unsure. I'm not. And that offends people. And that, again, you know. But if I was 6'4", 250, conventionally, you know, what's that dude, the ladies like, Idris Elba or whatever, you name your sexy Hollywood person, muscles, business suit on, a whole lot of money, a fancy car, a giant house, and the same thing happened. And I said, well, it's not true that if you don't have that new license, you won't be able to fly. People would say, well, what do you mean? Well, if you go get a passport, then you'd still be able to fly. Oh, you're right. And nobody would be complaining, but he said it with such confidence. He arrogant. Nobody would be saying that. I just be trying to tell the truth, y'all. I just want to tell the truth. And like Keith Wonderboy Johnson, I just want to be right. Well, that's an inside joke just for me. I've explained it a few times, but I was listening to Keith Wonderboy Johnson. I just want to be right. Earlier today, I was editing some video, and that song was in the video, and it popped back into my head. All right. Anything else? Anything else? And Shahara never did tell me why she didn't like me. And I'm looking, Shahara. I'm looking. Oh, Freddie Red in the house. Freddie Red said, Kim, I'm lost. What happened? Oh, he gonna like me even less now. You talking about me on your little show. He don't talk like that. I can't help it. Jerica says, what are the 5 types of women? You know what the 5 types of women are. You know what the 5 types of women are. Jerica, by the way, I met a woman, Jerica, and I think I either asked you or I asked her. I think I was asking her your maiden name. Like, do you have any of these people in your family? And she was like, no. And I was like, you got to. Because y'all about the same height, about the same build, same voice. You know that, I don't know, I don't want to describe it in a way that's not pleasant. That deep, smoky voice, I don't know. I got that same voice, make them same facial expressions, same, skin tone, all of that stuff. Like, I'm like, y'all got to be related. Y'all got to be related. And she act just like you. I'm gonna call that type 3. She was type 3, just like you. Shahara says, you're just annoying. Always being disagreeable just because to prove a point. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? But if somebody else challenges conventional wisdom, they not just being disagreeable. It's okay for certain people to be thinkers, but I'm not allowed to be. If I'm a thinker and I challenge conventional reason and belief, then I'm just being disagreeable just because to prove a point. I'm doing it just to be annoying. But what about the fact that I'm always right? Like, shouldn't that factor in? You just being disagreeable to prove a point. Really? Yeah, you just being disagreeable to prove a point. Was I right? Well, yeah, but you just did it to prove the point. So everything I'm saying is right. The things that I'm disagreeing with, I'm disagreeing because they're not necessarily factual. And somehow that's a bad thing. It's bad to disagree with wrong information because you know it's wrong. You can't be doing it because you know it's wrong. You have to be doing it to be annoying. You have to be doing it to, quote, prove a point just because. See, I could go with that if I was wrong, even a few of the times. I can think back on the radio eyes to 6 times. I'm really stretching. I can really only think of 3. But I'm going to say 6 because, doubling it up. Where I was wrong. Out of, 20 years? I've been wrong 6 times and I still don't have the credibility of maybe he's not being disagreeable to be disagreeable. Maybe he's being disagreeable because a lot of the S that we saying he disagrees with, and he ends up being right. Dee Dee Williams said, she said, who says this stuff? You wrong right now. Oh, I'm not. I'm just being true. Shahara, she said, I think most people can agree with me. But agree with what? But if, again, I'm asking the question. This is a legitimate question in my mind. If I'm right, like if you say something and I disagree with you, and it turns out I'm right, how is that just being disagreeable to be disagreeable? Somebody help me understand that. Somebody help me understand it. I'm not sure what that means, Alethea. She's been baptized and she can no longer talk to Ross. All right, somebody, for real, answer that question and then I gotta go. Just because I want to get an understanding of it. You disagreeable just to be disagreeable, but you right 97+% of the time. What percentage changes it from disagreeable to be disagreeable to you disagree because you hear bad information? What percentage does the switch flip? How annoying you are, you'll never understand. Just like Twin will never understand the common sense you tried to explain to him. Trying to get you to understand would be a waste of time. No, I'm listening. I'm just asking for education. I'm open. Ron, yesterday, that's one of the 6 times, I said something. Ron said that's not true. Ron sent me information. What's one of the first things that I did today? I said, hey, Ron, before you even start, I was wrong. I'm always open to new information. David says, I think everyone doesn't understand that a man loves to play devil's advocate. I don't. I just love to look at all sides of a situation. That's not playing devil's advocate. Samuel says, I guess the same reason Lincoln wants to punch you in the face. Well, that's only because, see, you brought up Lincoln. I wasn't going to talk about Lincoln. But that's only because he's used to people kind of bowing down to him because of his status in the community. And because people respect stuff like, oh, he's a legend. I don't care about a legend. I'm not a celebrity chaser. You very rarely gonna see any pictures of me with some celebrity. I don't do that. Cause to me, you just some guy or you just some girl. I might respect who you are and what you do, but I don't kiss your behind because of it. And Lincoln is used to people doing that. And when he ran into somebody, me, who wouldn't do that, it vexes him because that's what he's used to. He's used to everybody being a fan. I'm not a fan. You a guy and I'm a guy. And so that really became that issue. I want you to treat me like everybody else treat me. I don't view you like everybody else views you. They view you as a radio legend. I view you as that nigga sitting right there. You gonna respect me, I'm gonna respect you. And if you don't respect me, I'm not gonna respect you. And he wasn't used to that. So that's why he wanna punch me in the face. Oh. Oh. Shahara says, you can be childish and petty and take things too far and just keep going and going, and sometimes it can be annoying. That is what I think Lincoln Ware thinks. Actually, there is some truth to that. I can be childish and petty, again, when you make me. Just like with the police officer, if she would have never said the stuff she said, I would have never said the stuff. I don't start out childish and petty. But if you keep being disrespectful and saying disrespectful stuff to me, yeah, eventually I'm going to start saying disrespectful stuff to you. And I'm not going to stop till I feel like it. Because you don't get to start the fight and then decide when the fight ends. You started it, I decide when it ends. So yes, that I'll give you. If you start it, I'm going to end it. And I'm going to end it with, okay, you got me. No, that don't mean I got to stop. Because I wouldn't be getting you if you wouldn't have started it. So you don't get to say, okay, you got me, that's enough. It's not enough until I say it's enough. You shouldn't have started it. And it wouldn't be none. But because you started it and I let stuff slide, I get to go till I feel whole. And I feel whole when I say so. So there might be some truth. Now that there might be, there is some truth to that. And yes, I intentionally go too far. The hope in going too far is that the next time you consider doing that, you think about it like, okay, I did this last time and he went way too far with his response. Is it even worth doing it this time? Now I heard somebody say that their mama told them a hard head make a soft ass. So if you got a hard head, I'm gonna tap that ass until I decide I'm done. That's for real. That's just the way I operate. So yeah, I'm gonna go too far. I'm gonna go too far. There's very rarely is there an occasion where you pushed me to go and I said, okay, I'm gonna just go as far as you went. I'm going too far. Trust me, I'm going too far. So the next time, ooh, do I really want to do this? Because if he come back, he gonna go too far. And you would think that the person would just be like, it ain't even worth it. I'm not gonna do it. We can just stay happy and friendly and everybody will be all right. But that don't, for whatever reason, that don't necessarily be a hard head, make a soft ass. Black Lion say, man, I think that's why Lincoln don't like me, because I see him as that nigga over there. That he don't like a number of people because of that. And that I'm just telling you, no jokes, no nothing. There's a number of people that he does not like because they view him as just some guy. His whole identity is wrapped up in I'm this, I'm that. And people feed into that. I don't feed into that shit. Shahara says, and that's when you take it too far. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't apologize for that. Because again, don't start none. Won't be none. Yes, I did, Jerica. That's exactly what I said. Ibadathia says sometimes you do play devil's advocate. Okay, let me correct this. I said I don't, but you're right. Sometimes I do, only in situations where it's a fun conversation. Like a lot of times on Sister Speak, we would have just fun conversations about little fun stories in the news and stuff like that. And so in those cases, well, yeah, I'll play devil's advocate. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're on the radio. We're having a conversation for conversation's sake. So, you know, if I'm on the radio in an ensemble cast, because think about this, for real, how boring would this be? And I'm just off the top of my head, and kind of because we was talking about it earlier. Do you believe in abortion, or do you think that doctor should have, you know, gotten in trouble for sending those pills in the mail? Person number one, no, I don't think that doctor should have got in trouble. It's her body. She gets to decide what to do with it. And if that doctor sent it to her, then that's okay. Person number two, well, no, I don't think that doctor should have got in no trouble. Shoot, it's her body, what's to do with it. Person number three, no, I don't think that doctor should have got in no trouble. It's her body, and she can do whatever she wants. And if she reached out to that doctor, then that doctor. Person number four, no, I don't think she should have got in no trouble either. You're right, because it's her body. Okay. Where do you go from there? Next topic. Now, sometimes you need somebody to say, okay, but hold on. Now, let's think about this. If the girl wanted an abortion, and that was her only option, why should doctors be getting in trouble for this? And then you actually have a conversation about it. See, to me, you're playing devil's advocate. But again, it's the radio. So everybody on the radio can't necessarily just have the same opinion for the same reason and agree with each other. And because then where do you go with that topic from there? So a whole lot of times I had no desire to jump into conversations. But everybody on that side of the glass just looked at each other and said, Jerry, you right. I agree with you. Yep, Jerry, you right. I agree with you. Yep, Jerry, you right. I agree with you. Jerry, you right. I agree with you. And even Jerry's looking at me like, what do I do with this? Like, this is why I assembled all of these intelligent women from different walks of life with different experiences so we could have these conversations. And everybody's just gonna say, yep, you right. I agree with you. And she would look at me, and I knew what the look meant. She didn't even have to say it. And I hit the button, nah, Jerry, you're way off base. Let me tell you how it really is. And then you got a conversation going. I can bow out now. Because maybe somebody would be like, well, you know, Emanuel, you're right. And then, oh, now you got something going. So in that aspect, yes. I did play devil's advocate a number of times. Now, most of the time, them sisters was just wrong. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, them sisters was just wrong on stuff. If I said they was wrong, they was wrong. I felt that way. But every once in a while, yeah, I was playing devil's advocate because there was nowhere to go. I saw there were certain days when Jerry would burn through 10 stories in like 30 minutes. Because she couldn't get no conversation going because everybody just saying, Jerry, you right. I agree with you. And what do you do with that? What do you do with that? So, yeah, I had to help her out. I couldn't just leave her out there hanging. She only brought so many stories to the conversation, and yet she done ran through, 70% of her stories in the first 30 minutes of the 2-hour show. No, I wasn't doing that. So let me help you. Let me help you. Truth be told, Mr. Ware took advantage of that as well. Jonathan Love took advantage of that as well. It's not a bad thing. I'm telling you, as a talk show host, I don't know how I got into this. As a talk show host, again, you sitting there, you're not even looking, I'm looking into a camera. They not even looking into a camera. They just looking at me. I'm the one across the glass, pushing buttons. They just looking at me. And they talking. And if people ain't talking back, again, once you done almost gone through all of your stories, they looking at me. And I was open to it. Initially, y'all don't understand. Initially, I had no desire of ever going on air. I was cool being behind the board, pushing buttons, hitting little sound effects and little clips and stuff like that. I was happy. But then when you got nothing, you done ran through your topics and you ain't getting no response, or from time to time, the phone lines is broke. And you doing stories and you got no calls. And they give me that look, yeah, I'm hitting that button. Jay, I don't understand how you could even have that mindset. It don't make sense. What do you mean it don't make sense? Okay, you said that the so-and-so and so-and-so. But really, another way to look at it is the so-and-so and so-and-so and so. And we have a little back and forth. Next thing you know, all the phone lines is ringing. Emanuel crazy. He don't know what he talking about. No, Emanuel is right. Emanuel the one makes sense. No, Jay, you need to get him. You can't let him do that. Nah. Now you got a show. You got conversation going on. Jay did it. Lincoln did it. Jerry did it. Almost everybody did it. Sports show never did it. The primetime sports show never once looked at me like, okay, I could use some help. Never once did the primetime sports show look at me like I could use some help. I remember once I had a legitimate question and I asked them a question and they looked at me like, what are you doing on our air? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. I mean, they answered the question, but you know, they was looking at me almost like, you could have just asked me that in my ear and then I could have answered the question, you know? And it was almost, not in a mean way, but it was almost like, we know what you do, but we don't need that. And I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, almost everybody did it. Etna never did it. I think Big Daddy did it a few times. Gene Galvin did it a few times. Zoe did it when he filled in. Really the only ones who never did it that I can recall was the primetime sports show. Now on the breaks with them, you know, I would do what I felt like a producer does. One of the things that a producer does is I would bring up things that maybe they missed. Like, okay, but y'all didn't talk about this. Like, but what about this? Like, okay, we get that story. Vince Carter skipped his game to go to graduation. Okay. But y'all didn't look at this angle of it. And they'd be like, okay, we'll talk about that when we come back. Cool. But I think that was an ensemble show and the two of them had great chemistry. So they didn't, you know, they were just used to having conversations. Janice says they humbled you. I mean, Jerica says they humbled you. I don't know if I would say they humbled me. But they were just like we don't, they were comfortable having their own conversation. But again, they were open to hearing the other, other perspectives in terms of the show and how to add to it. They just didn't need that to happen on the air. Did Nathan Ivey use YouTube? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He absolutely did. And look, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Usually, I can't say usually. Again, I listen to talk. I've been listening to talk for a long time. A long time. Before I got into it, I listened to talk, all different types of talk and all that kind of stuff. From the little country stations, this talking gospel, the Bible, Christian talk, to big boys like 700 talking politics, to you name it. I've been listening to talk, Howard Stern and all of that stuff, the shock jocks and all of that. And Dr. Lord, there's almost always another voice. There's almost always, they'll lean on another voice here or there. Almost always. Especially, if the calls ain't coming through and, a lot of shows aren't necessarily caller driven. But if they need something, there's a producer. Oh, the producer said so and so and so. And sometimes it don't even be a producer. Ain't no producer said nothing. You just thought of another perspective to create something, to make a conversation, and so you attribute it to the producer. I said my wife should cook the meatloaf, but my producer says, she's right. You guys should have went out and gotten something to eat. What do you think? And then people calling in. Oh no, your producer's right. Your wife was right on point. That it's just little things that people do. It's just little things that people do. So it's not bad that they did, but all of that to say, yes, sometimes I had to be the devil's advocate, but most times I was really just trying to look at a different perspective. That was it. Let's look at a different perspective and see. Anthony says, is Miss Edna still around? I think she's still around. Last time I talked to Edna was when the buzz came back that last time, and I was the assistant program director, because we didn't have an actual program director. They gave me the title of assistant program director because they didn't want to give me the title of program director because that came with more money. So I did the duties of the program director with the assistant program director title and no extra money. So when the buzz came back, this last iteration of it, we were doing shows, I heard from Edna, and she was saying, would you, I'm out here and I am available and I would love to talk to you about maybe doing something. And I had to basically tell her, like, they ain't trying to pay no money. They ain't trying to pay no money. The money that they was trying to pay, I'm not with that radio station no more. The money that they trying to pay talk show hosts is $10 an hour. And they don't want to pay for prep time or any of that kind of stuff. So basically I was told, if you bring somebody in and they do a 3-hour show, they're going to make $30 a day. And who gonna take that much? I think Dwight Tillery learned, like, this take a lot of work. And it's just not worth it for basically no money. And I don't think they was paying Dwight Tillery no $10 an hour, but that was what they wanted to pay people, $10 an hour. And so I'm talking to Edna, and I'm like, I wouldn't, to be for real, I wouldn't even insult you by offering you a show for what they talking about paying. And I don't remember if she asked me. I don't remember the entire conversation, but I remember her reaching out to me saying, you know, I wouldn't have a problem getting on the air and doing it, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. And I remember telling her I wouldn't feel comfortable offering you the position for what they paying. But I don't remember if she asked me what they were paying or not. But I think she probably did, and I told her. But I remember talking to somebody about it who was prominent. I'm not gonna say the name. And I told them, and they was like, they didn't say it, but they mind their, and I was face to face with this person. Their face said, shit. And I was like, yeah, I don't even want to insult you with that. I don't even want to insult you with that. So I'm not offering you the position. Now, if you wanted to do it for that, you can have it, but that's what the position pays. And then, no, I don't want it. It's like, I didn't think so. Yeah, $10 an hour. I kid y'all not, I'm not making it up. $10 an hour was what they said they was willing to pay. Kid y'all not. But no, that's the last time I talked to Edna Howe Parrish. But I always liked Edna. I always liked Edna. And keep in mind, this wasn't like 20 years ago when they was offering $10 an hour. When did the buzz switch back over? Because I remember Raven was working at the station at the time. I don't know how long Raven been there. I don't know how long Raven been there. But I'm gonna say 5 years tops, which mean what, 2020? So my guess is this would have been 2019, because I think this was right before the pandemic. I think it was right before the pandemic. So yeah, in 2019, they was offering $10 an hour. $30 a day to do a 3-hour talk show. And they wasn't even offering no 3-hour talk show. You was gonna do 2 hours. You was gonna make $20. You was gonna take your time out of your day, prepare your show, line up guests, do whatever it is you had to do, drive down to the station, get there, set up, do 2 hours, drive home, all of that stuff, and get ready for the next day's show for $20. Before taxes. Just to put it into perspective, before taxes, you was gonna make $20 a day before taxes. I'm not kidding, I'm not exaggerating, I'm telling the truth. I don't work there no more. I can tell the truth. And they shouldn't be ashamed of the truth, because it is the truth. It is the 100% truth. And then that's why we stopped having guest hosts. I already told y'all that before. But we stopped having guest hosts because they didn't want to pay them. But they had a rule that if you do a show there, you have to work there. And they didn't want to pay them. So they just said, y'all can't have guest hosts. Can't do it. And that's when I was trying to have Zoe come in and fill in. And, you know, when Lincoln would take off, I had Zoe come in and do his battles and all of that kind of stuff. And they just got to a point where you can't do that. Because then we'd have to hire him. And we'd have to pay him $10 an hour. But it's the whole process of hiring him that creates situations, because then he becomes an employee, and you just can't have guest hosts anymore. So that was that. That was that. Stopped having guest hosts. Jeffrey says, how much is Lincoln Ware making? I don't know how much Lincoln Ware is making now. I don't know how much Lincoln Ware is making now. But he was making well into the six figures. Well over 100,000 for somebody who might not know what that means. Well over 100,000. And then when I left, my understanding is he got a raise because he had to do an additional hour. Because remember, he was just doing 10 to 12 and I was doing 12 to 3. And so my guess is, and I'm trying to be conservative. I'm trying to be conservative. My guess is Lincoln was making, around 175, close to $200,000 when I left. And then he got a raise. And I noticed look, there was a time at Radio 1 when somebody accidentally, the person got fired who did it. I always felt bad for her. But she accidentally emailed out everybody's salary. Literally, everybody that worked at Radio 1 Cincinnati, everybody could see everybody's salary. It's the only way I know how much he was making. Because other than that, we never talked about it, but I saw the paper. I know how much he was making. And that was a long time ago. So he was probably well over the $200,000 mark, by that point. Because that was when we first moved down there, when she sent out that email. And he was way up there then. So, and I'm trying to think of when that was. Like, because it was before 2008. Because Obama wasn't the president. Well, wait a minute. I want to say it was before 2008 because Obama wasn't the president yet. I'm 100% certain of that. It was during George Bush was president. George W. Bush was president. So it was before 2008. So probably around 2005-ish. That email got sent out, and that's how much he was making in 2005. And he got a number of contracts that bumped his salary up. Well, I just tell y'all that man was making a lot of money. I wasn't just and that's why he couldn't say, no, that's not true. That's not true. Because he knew that I knew how much he had made. Because he knew that I had seen that salary. Lincoln Ware has a lot of sponsorships. That's not true. That's not true. Lincoln Ware does not have a lot of sponsorships. Lincoln Ware, I think at one point he might have had 3. I think that's probably the most he's really ever had at one point. It's 3. He don't have a whole lot of sponsorships. He don't. He had that Jeff Wyler. He ain't got Jeff Wyler no more. The Dukester calls in, but that's not like a Lincoln Ware personal sponsorship. He don't. Y'all think he do. But he does not have a lot of sponsorships. It's just not true. Genesis, I can't blame Lincoln. I'm sure the station would make changes if it was in their best interest. I ain't blame Lincoln either. I've said this a number of times, and I said it to Lincoln. If I was in Lincoln's position, I would die doing that job. Look, if you are blessed enough to be doing something that you like to do, something that is still fun, and get paid well to do it till you don't want to do it no more. I don't blame him at all. Not even a little bit. And every time he talk about, I'm gonna retire, I'll be like, why? You know, saying welcome to Walmart don't pay like this. You do 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, I think 3 hours a day. And you making that kind of money, you're not making that kind of money saying welcome to Walmart for 3 hours a day. And you get to work from home sometimes. So you ain't even got to get up and spend no money and go out. You get to be at home with your wife and, you know, get drunk on the air and all of that kind of stuff. I would not leave. They would be like, Emanuel, we trying to change the format. I'd be like, y'all just have to change the format around me. We are now a Latino station. Welcome to La Hora Latina. It's the afternoon experiment with Emanuel Livingston for the next 3 hours because I'm making $250,000 a year. And I'm having fun. Hey, here is Chicano. Come on over here. Shake it for me. Shake it for me. Arriba. Now I'm gone. I'm making $250,000. I will be there until I decided, hey, I ain't doing it no more. So I don't blame Lincoln, not one bit. Not one bit. E-Man, Lincoln was happy to see you go. Maybe. Genesis, I'm just saying, I know you're not blaming him, but I also know how companies function. They look out for their best interests. Right. I don't know that I shared that. Do I even want to share that? When I was the program director, I don't work there no more. When I was the program director and or the assistant program director, the vice president of programming came in. I think I've shared this before. Vice president of programming came in. And we were having these conversations because I was wanting to do stuff. I'm like, man, this station could be so much more. We could do this and we could do that and we could do this and we could do that. I got an idea for this and I got an idea for that. Oh, I got an idea for this and I got an idea for that. And he stopped me. Stop. He said, he was taking shots at me. It's okay. Kobe didn't like me either, but that's okay. He was taking shots at me. You ain't gonna do nothing but give yourself more gray hairs and you got enough of them. Let me just tell you. And he said this. And I had witnesses who stood there. I doubt that they would admit it, but there were witnesses standing there when he said this. He said, the buzz is around as somewhere to dump the Tom Joyner morning show. Because at that time, I guess they had grown a little tired of Tom Joyner. It's here somewhere to dump the Tom Joyner show. And it's somewhere for Lincoln Ware because for whatever reason, the people at Jeff Weiler like Lincoln Ware. And as long as he has that sponsorship, he's here. So your job, as far as I'm concerned, is make sure Lincoln is happy. As long as we got somewhere to dump Tom Joyner and he still got that Jeff Weiler sponsorship, that's all I care about. Anything else y'all do on the station, you don't need to do all of that. Now, if you want just some extra work just for the sake of having extra work, I can give you some extra work. But That's what the buzz is to us. That's what that man told me. I told him, that's terrible. And just so you know, my job is not to make Lincoln Ware happy. If that's what you think my job is, you might as well let me go now. I will do my job, but that is not a part of my job. And he didn't like that. But it's 100% the truth. I'm telling you, that's what I was told. And my understanding is he don't have that Jeff Weiler sponsorship anymore. So I don't know what's going to happen when that contract is up. But that was what he told me. Kobe was black. Kobe was black. And I promise you, I'm not kidding, I'm not joking. That was what he said. He capped on my gray hair. Talked about me wanting to do all of this stuff that wasn't necessary. And told me that them was the two reasons that that station was still the format that it was. So, I don't know what they doing over there now. I haven't been there for a number of years. I just be trying to tell y'all the truth. I just tell y'all the truth. I just tell the truth. And so I say all of that to say, Janice, you're right. You're right. They're like, Jeff Weiler brought in a lot of money. And like he said, for whatever reason, and those was his words, for whatever reason, they like Lincoln Ware. And so it was in their best interests to keep him. And again, because, you know, we got our little thing. But again, the truth of the matter is, Lincoln got the personality for that. Lincoln is, for all of y'all, how I'm unlikable. Lincoln is the opposite. He's a very likable guy. He's not that smart. You know what I'm saying? He's not a good reader. He's not a thinker. He's just not a smart man. But he's wise enough to know I need to be likable. And he's figured out how to be likable. And being likable is bankable. That's the truth. That's the truth. All right, y'all got to get out of here. Why y'all get on my nerves, making me stay on this late? Why y'all making me stay on this late? I got to go. And what? Stop what? Come on, y'all know that man is barely literate. Y'all know that man is barely literate. Like, y'all know he can't read. And y'all know he can't think. Ask him a question that requires thought. You're trying to split hairs. That's thinking. I think that is the attempt at thinking, and then he just give up and just say something. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. But he tried. He tried. He tried. You could hear him. He was grunting. He was trying. Okay, so what? Okay, so what? That's what he came up with. Y'all Y'all know I'm not lying. Y'all know I'm not lying. But he's personable. He's likable. Thus, he's bankable. And clearly, that's more valuable than, you know what I'm saying, being able to read. Being able to play devil's advocate if you need to. Being able to be disagreeable with logic. It's more bankable. That's just the truth. All right, I gotta get out of here. Y'all get on my nerves. Y'all get on my daggone nerves. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Oh, just for the record, y'all can run tell him because I didn't say nothing that I haven't already told him face to face. Just in case anybody wondering. He knows I don't think he's a smart man. He knows he can't read. You know what I'm saying? He knows that. He knows what they told me. All of that stuff. He knows it. I've told him to his face. I'm not one of them people say stuff behind your back that I won't say to your face. I told him all this stuff to his face. And that might be why he want to punch me in the face. That might be the reason. All right. Enjoy the rest of y'all evening. To be completely honest, I wouldn't even went all the way there. But again, I told you I listened to a little bit of his show and I heard when Twin apologized. And I heard what he was trying to do. I don't need to hear what platform you was on. I don't need to hear what you said. I don't need you mentioning nobody's name. I don't need it. I don't like when people do stuff like that. I don't like that. Just let it be what it's gonna be. But you wanna go out of your way to okay. It is what it is. Enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Enjoy y'all weekend. As always, as you are out and about this evening and this weekend, be the reason that somebody smiles. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.